Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna break this mic thing. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen, our third live stream of the day. And this one is more like, football talk, stuff like that, instead of us doing watch-alongs and stuff. This one is more like football centered. So we're here to talk about all things football, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk about, the results. We're here to talk about the games. We're here to talk about all these things. So big up to every single one of you guys. Please do hit that like button on your way in. Do subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Also, everyone's channel will be in the description, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's channel will be in the description. Every single person who will join us today on today's stream, the links are in the description. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. And thank you guys so much for always showing us love and support. Our third live stream of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Joining me first and foremost, the biggest fraud, you get me, Canadian fraud, you get me, the originator of the professor vibes from Hamza, because Hamza copies everything he says now. Man like Vator is in the building. How do you like?
Hilarious. Listen, thank you for a chance to talk football. Your intro, you said you wanted to talk football. You know, I'm so accustomed to having to defend my club, defend some of these takes because everyone wants to take their shots. But it's going to be a nice show to be able to talk football, give a good perspective. I mean, I obviously didn't have a game today, but I got a chance to watch and enjoy. I saw Villa do me a favor with regards to Forest. I saw Arsenal do what Arsenal do. You know what I mean? And surprisingly, I also saw Real Madrid do something, which I know isn't part of our league, but I also saw Real Madrid do what they tend to do because they always team.
They lose the game before the UCL.
Yes,
always.
They lose the game for the UCL because they're focused on the UCL. Man, we're gonna have the conversation. I'm gonna have to handle business. I'm sure we'll do a little bit of preview talk for this Manchester derby. But yeah, man, I'm feeling good and I'm ready.
That's what you're here for. I want to ask you about tomorrow and stuff.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, we're gonna talk. Yeah.
I'm wondering what your opinions are on the Arsenal situation, though, because obviously I've got two Arsenal fans today. Because
you got two fans today.
Yes. Oh, okay. Fans are always like, Sam, we just don't have enough representation on the panels. And, we need backup and we need help. And
they definitely do need backup. They definitely do.
Yeah. So what I did is I actually got two Arsenal fans on. You get me? One guy you guys are used to seeing on the title race videos, and the other guy is Australian fraud, mate. You get me? So,
okay. I mean, they're everywhere. Yeah. Arsenal fans are everywhere. The Arsenal fraud fan base are everywhere. But yeah, this PGMOL fight that seems to happen with every Arsenal fan and Arsenal game. I mean, if that happens to be the first thing that they talk about, fraud, instant fraud alert. Right, your fraud radar should be pinging off like crazy if the first thing they want to talk about is the PGMOL, because there's a game that was first played. There's a game on with regards to results that you could have gotten. Then, okay, you can reflect back and see what poor calls or what inconsistent calls you may see. But we all got to deal with it. So we'll see what these are. We'll see what the Arsenal fans have to say. With regards to PGMOL, I'm tired of the same combo. Stop your complaining with the refs. Stop.
I agree. I've never complained personally. For the benefit of the stream, mate. For the benefit of the stream. Anyway, joining us, repping Arsenal. You get me? You guys saw him on the title race streams with LB and Wolfie. And he's here to talk about Arsenal Football Club. Mad Max is in the building. How are you doing, Max? Oh, the camera fell off just as I'm introducing you. Hi, Max.
Hey, that's one of the best introductions, One of the best introductions. But yeah, I'm here, man. Big up to you both. And yeah, man, sad day for Arsenal, man. Sad day.
Yeah. That's what you were saying.
Did you earn that coach kit you're wearing right now, or did you steal it?
Come on, man. You got to earn things, man.
All right.
We ain't frauds. We ain't nepotism babies. You know what I mean? It's been a long day. I had to travel. Trains are on strike across the UK. So yeah, man, I made it here for you guys, man.
Nice. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we got him some backup. You get me? So it's gonna be two Arsenal fans today on the stream. It's been a while since I've got him on because he's Max. Because he's because obviously he is busy and there might be some timing issues and stuff, but he's back here. And like Martin is in the building. How doing, Martin?
Gentlemen, good to see you.
Hello,
Come on,
brother.
you Gunners.
Damn.
How we all doing?
I'm good. Are you
Not
good?
bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Husam, you can
And-
introduce him as the Australian Canadian Arsenal fan.
Oh, there you are. I'll be honest with you, I don't do what Mo does because Martin identifies as Australian, so I respect him and I give him the Australian identity.
But I salute my Canadian brothers. You know, we're a big family, these Commonwealths, and yeah, in times like these, Canadians are the leaders of the free world, apparently.
It's true.
And speaking of Canadians, Cam is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Because I can't get just a City fan to preview tomorrow's game, so we had to get a United fan. How you doing, Cam?
What's up, man? What's up? Sorry I'm late. My baby's been difficult. And I'm like, you sit every time you ask me, it's funny. I'm always like, I have like an engagement party happening right now, but I'd rather be talking about football. So I told my girl, I'm like, I'll take the baby back to the house and put her down, and then I'm gonna podcast. But she took a little longer. I don't know. Hopefully you can't hear her. She's going crazy in the back, but she'll pass out soon.
No, we don't hear it.
We can't hear. You're good.
Good.
You're good.
All right, perfect. Yeah. She like I can hear her, which is good. So like if things are crazy, but you know she's fine. Wait, you're who else is Canadian? I know
not you the way.
I know Vator's Canadian.
I'm an Australian, but I'm in Canada half the year, most of the time, actually.
Oh, where?
Vancouver.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes perfect
Nice.
sense.
Fair.
Yeah, I try to
don't
do
worry
the
about it. I
background so
don't
that
care.
people can tell it's Vancouver.
Okay, fine. Anyway, guys, big up to all of you
Yeah.
guys. Let's get the likes up early. Let's just start off with obviously the only game that happened today, which is a relevant game if you'd like, which is Arsenal Football Club. So let's talk about it.
Who was Aston Villa?
I thought you were going to say Villa Forest.
I was going to say Villa because I
Yeah.
actually didn't see the Villa Forest one was good. And honestly, if anybody caught the Brighton, especially the end of the Brighton
saw there were like
Crystal
three-
Palace game, it was
Yeah.
Brexit fucking football. It was at its finest. It was like the best version of Brexit football. Like it was beautiful. I loved it.
I'll make sure I check it out. But we have to talk about the big clubs,
Yeah,
unfortunately. So
no,
let's
I
talk
know. I'm
about
just
them.
saying that game was great. Like high kicks, everyone
I
crashing.
saw Mateta's goal. It was a banger, to be fair.
Bro, they those guys were just attacking each other. It was beautiful.
They laughed at me last January when I
Nope.
said sign Mateta, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Max,
Yes.
another day,
Yes.
another draw.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah. This is what we're used to now at Arsenal. We're used to heartbreak. We're used to failure. We're just used to just pain. And this was another day. Whether people want to say it was the referee, whether people want to say, oh, we got a Champions League game, it doesn't matter. But the reality of everything is this is Everton. Everton were not even good today. They weren't good today, but we stooped to their level. That is the worst thing about the whole game. That just forget everything that happened in the game. We literally stooped to Everton's level, and I'm trying to think how many clear chances did Arsenal create in this game to actually win the game, and there weren't many. And I'm just, yeah, I'm at a loss. Pray for Madrid, man. Pray for Madrid.
Martin, you guys, you've all been here before. Come on.
Pray for Madrid. What do you mean pray for Madrid?
Pray.
After that
taking the
intro,
piss.
and then he goes pray for Madrid. I mean, I was
Yes.
looking at this game like I just don't want to get any more injuries. That's pretty much all I cared about. The title league's already done. I'm not going to stunt on Everton or get some kind of joy out of beating them. I wasn't expecting to get another whack-ass penalty. Like, I don't know what they're doing now. Whatever's a penalty, I don't even understand. But we're not going to get into refs. What I do want to see is, like, players playing better than I expected. So Kivior was man of the match, and he actually had a good game. But, like, I still don't want to see him against Real Madrid. He's got that like brain fart in him, which is going to cost us a goal. So I'm hoping Arteta doesn't lean on him and tries to play Ben White as a centre back or something, or even Declan Rice as a centre back. I just don't want to give Madrid easy goals, and that's what Kivior smells to me. He's like Holding 2.0. So as far as the game, look, we were playing like a weird set of players. Marino was playing as a 10. We had Sterling out there. And then Ranieri had probably one of his worst games. Like, he wasn't getting good service, but when he did, he wasn't doing anything with it. Like, I just didn't think anyone was really up for it. We were just trying to survive this game and get through to Real Madrid. And we were trying to survive with 3 points with that 1-0 lead. But once they scored, it didn't really feel like we were going to push the boat out, even once we put players on. So I'm not going to cry about it. But, yeah, it was just another forgettable game. And PGML just said, here's one last fuck you for good times. So, you know, if anyone thinks that's a penalty, maybe you can come at me and say this is why. But all the contact seemed to happen outside the box, and then Harrison just fell over without any contact. So I don't understand how it wasn't overturned by VAR, but this is where we are. This is the new football.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I watched about 5 different replays of that, and it's not a penalty. I'm going to be completely honest. That was just, it's not a penalty. Vator, can you stop being just like such a, like, is your life infested with agendas where you can't just be honest for one time in your life? That is the softest penalty I have seen in my fucking life. Like, that's nowhere near a penalty. The guy, here's the thing.
Foul on
Lewis Kelly needs to learn how to be a dirty player. He needs to learn it. Because
A
first of all,
dirtier player, you mean?
No, hear me out. When what's his name? When Harrison first grabs you, Habibi, fall on the ground directly. You're gonna get the foul. He would have gotten that decision, but instead he plays this tussle along with him. But that's the softest penalty I've seen all year long. Here's the problem, and this is where, you know, I don't know if Martin and Max agree, but it's gonna be interesting if they do. Last season, Liverpool were the club that were robbed all year long last season. We were the one that suffered with the most PGMOL decisions. Let's not sit up here and lie to each other. This is reality from last season.
You sure?
However, I'm talking about like the big clubs, Max. Like, just
okay. We were second.
Oh.
We were
Yes.
second.
Yes. Point is, we suffered from those decisions in the midst of a title race. Here's the difference between Liverpool last season and Arsenal this season. And I don't know if you guys agree. I'm going to give genuine objective criticism. Even when we had those decisions go against us, we always go out swinging. Like, it's like Diaz missing a one-on-one, Nunes missing a one-on-one, chances galore. We hit the post, we hit the bar. It's almost like we bombard the opposition, but our finishing doesn't get us over the line. The problem that I had with Arsenal watching them today is they can't create for shit. There is literally like, I recall the Martinelli shot that Pickford saved. That was an unbelievable chance. So that right there, unbelievable chance. But other than that, the game was so shit. We were talking about Liverpool's transfer targets on the watch along. Like, it's not like Arsenal bombarded Everton's net. And the one substitution that made no sense is, okay, I get it that, you know, you want to rest players for Madrid. I understand. The question, I have a very simple question. Why not keep Nwaneri on the pitch, bring Odegaard on as well, and then take off a Moreno or take off a Rice? Why do you need 2 defensive-minded players like that with Jorginho against Everton? For what? You don't need all 3 against Everton. Like, they're in a low block. Try to unlock them. And that's the problem with Arsenal. Like,
But
they
didn't
just...
you guys struggle against Everton like 2 days ago and required like a moment of brilliance from Jota to actually score a goal? And that was at home for you guys. Like, Everton are just a stinky, noisy, terroristy team to play. No one enjoys it. I had to wake up at 4:30 a.m. to watch us play Everton this morning, and I really regret it. I should have just slept my ass in, and I knew what the result was going to be. But let's not be crazy.
You'll notice I can't say anything because we had the same problem. So
yeah, everyone has against Everton. They're just like
the thing is, just so you know, my energy is consistent. The people in the chat will tell you I called out my team for not having enough creativity against Everton.
Well, everyone said that was a horrible game too. So I think there's a common theme here, and it is Everton, and they're very good defending. They're very good at kicking the crap out of you and getting away with it. Like, I think Pickford seems to make a point of doing it once a game where he does something which should be a red card, and it's just like, hey, you know, it's all jokes. And you had that should have been red card on Mako and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it, but if you want to say, ha ha, Arsenal, you've lost the league again. We've already lost the league. There's nothing for us to play for. It's not even like we need to worry about top 4. We're kind of cruising in that one too. So I don't know. We just need to get to Real Madrid because all this talk about it, all the lead up, and we just keep losing a player every time I watch them play. It's hard to deal with.
It's kind of
That-
funny today in one of the group chats. There was a lot of conversation between Chelsea and Arsenal fans going off about like positions and who's better in this or that. And I'm like, 2 weeks
Who,
ago,
Chelsea?
everybody was crashing out on Liverpool for going out of the UCL, and I'm like, and I made a joke, and I'm like, now all the Liverpool fans are sitting here watching you guys argue about who's next up. I agree with you. It's like at this point, it's kind of pedantic and hilarious that like you've been done. It's over. Like this result doesn't really matter. It is all about your Champions League, which probably will end too. But it's weird because you got to keep talking about it. But it is a pedantic result. It doesn't matter. Like who really cares at this stage what happens with Everton with Arsenal? And I said this with Mo at the start of the year where I was like, if Arsenal don't win the league, I wanted you to be bad because like for the banter. I didn't want you to be in this weird spot where people are still going to talk about you like you've done something. And like it's from a United fan. Like, listen, I'm the first to say I don't talk shit about other clubs where I'm at, but it's like this whole trying to be like, well, Arsenal's on the come up. They need to do this. It's like every year it feels the same, and until you buy a striker, it's going to be the exact same. Until you buy people who can finish, it's going to be the exact same. Like you cannot
There's a
win
lot
the
of
Premier
coke
League.
going around the Arsenal fan base, and what I don't want to see is people diminishing Liverpool's title, like trying to say it's an asterisk and whatever. Like they're still on the path of 90 odd points, and this is not an easy league to win. And this is just people being disingenuous because they're cranky about like having bad decisions and getting injuries. But this is no easy league to win, and Liverpool deserve all their credit. Unfortunately, when you come second, you're the only team that loses the Premier League. None of the other 18 teams apparently, get dunked on for that. It's just whoever's closest to the top team, and that's us.
I mean,
what's it? 26 undefeated as well for Liverpool.
Something like that, yeah.
There you go.
Vader's got something crazy to say. I can see it in his face.
no, I don't have something crazy to say.
Yes, you do.
No,
So just say it.
I got a few points here, and before we move on to Liverpool and the league that they're able to win this season, I want to talk about
Big up Zir for that raid, by the way, quickly. Go ahead, Vator.
Yo, large up. I mean, listen, you guys I believe you all looked at that and said that's a soft pen, or did some of you say
it's not even a foul? It's not even a foul.
No, it is a foul because
It's not. Harrison pushes him down. Where's the foul?
They're both grappling each other.
No. That's the ball goes over top, and MLS is obviously caught to get in position to defend the ball over top, and he's reaching for the man. There's a point where he has his arm in between the man's legs as he's falling because they're both fighting for position. It is a foul. There is contact.
But that's outside the box when that happens, right?
Go back and watch it. I think he's still making that contact while in the box. Now, does he lose his balance? Does he fall on him? Where you're like, well, what is a player supposed to do? All right, but they're both jostling and fighting for position. I can see why the ref gives the pen, because in real time when you're watching it, they're jostling for position, and then the player that's in an attacking position can't attack because he's taken out by a man falling on him.
No, but he could attack. Like if he just stayed on his feet, MLS is on the floor, but Harrison just fell with both feet like he'd been tackled.
Yeah, but we got Hussam who sees Mo.
Honestly, as we've been talking, I decided to watch it again. It's a bad it's not a foul.
If it's Ben White or Kivio,
it's not a foul. I don't think it's a foul.
MLS has a reputation. That's all it is.
I don't even think it's a foul. Like you have two players who are jostling for the ball, and if you're gonna call a foul, it was outside of the box, and then dude falls down as Skelly falls into him because he's falling down. Like how do you call foul? If he wasn't falling down, like listen, if he like made a motion, he's just falling. Like, and then you're allowed to fall in sport, and he fell into the other player who didn't have control of the ball. He didn't have control of the ball. The ball was nowhere near. Like it was the ball didn't even get to him yet. How do you call a foul? Like if he was dribbling or whatever, cool. I'd say sure. Then you fell into him while he had control. He was going towards. You cannot call a foul on the ball's in the air, and it's nowhere near it.
No, hold on, Cam. I don't know if you got. I don't know what highlights you're able to go back and watch.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay. So to say he doesn't have to have the ball, but Cam, he doesn't have to have the ball. No, he doesn't have.
Let Vator land because he's the only one with the opposing opinion. So let's hear him.
PGML like this. You know,
Okay, let's hear it.
Well,
Let's hear it because I got
the reason why is because I've been in some title races in the past, and the clubs that I'm fighting against always want to point out how challenges or referee calls go in my
nothing to
favor.
do with the
Rodri
title
have a
race.
ball.
No.
This
So
is nothing.
this is why I pay very close attention when I do go back and want to watch these fouls and no fouls. MLS is fighting for position. Does he make contact with the player? Yes. Do they both
but
try to
outside
jostle?
of the box. But he
Okay,
made the
fine.
contact
Okay.
outside the box.
Let him
Okay,
explain. Let him explain. I'm genuinely interested. Let him go. I
So
really
they
want to
both-
hear because all four of us agree. He's the one that disagrees. So let's let him land. Go on.
So they both make contact outside of the box. They're jostling for position. All right. One player, while trying to jostle, loses his balance. Right?
Because he's
He
being
loses his
pulled.
balance. Okay, but Martin, he's being pulled,
that's a
and
key part.
he's also got an arm
Yeah,
around
they're
him at the same
grappling
time.
each other. Like
Yes.
that
Okay,
Yeah.
but-
So
Hold
that's
on,
all
I don't-
balance.
He's not even the pull thing doesn't matter to me. But keep going. Keep going.
Okay, so the contact outside of the box, fighting for position, jostling. One man loses that battle because he loses his balance,
Mhm.
and the fact that he falls on an attacking player inside the 18-yard box, preventing him from going onto the ball in attacking position, which Cam said he doesn't have possession of the ball, but he's close to that ball to be able to actually get possession and take a shot. He prevents him from doing
he
that.
was not
falling
prevented
on
from
him.
doing anything.
Bro,
He fell on
okay,
him.
If
So
someone
again,
falls on your
the
left
ball
leg, does your
drops.
right leg all of a sudden go in the air
Listen,
too?
the
Like,
ball drops.
No, but see, Martin, you're talking about him
They're fighting.
overselling it. I get that.
No.
I get the
They're-
overselling, but we've seen that. Husam's seen that from Salah and Jota over the seasons, right? We've seen players sell it.
Vader. I'm sorry. Like the ball, like they're scrapping. The
Yeah.
ball's in the air. It drops. There's
Yeah.
there's whatever scrapping happening. The contact, if you're going to call it foul, was before in the box, like before the box, like the actual contact. I saw the pull. Whatever.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
for pulls. I'm kind of like it happens all the time. They're both jostling. You let it go because they're both jostling. He then loses his balance. There's no
Yeah.
like attempt. There's no tackle. He just falls. Like it's not. It's like when
Yeah,
you watch
he
it.
falls and flares his arms as he's falling.
Yes,
He
because
does-
he's saying it's a foul. The guy
he's-
pushes him down. Watch it. His
He-
hand pushes
He
him.
falls, bro.
Oh
He
my
falls
God.
into the guy, and it's not
Oh,
like he fell and like threw him or whatever. It's like a fall. It's a coming together. That's what it
Oh
really
my
is,
gosh.
and that's all it is.
This
It's a coming
this-
together. You cannot. If they didn't call foul, I would have said nothing. If they called a foul outside the box, I'd be like, sure. Calling a penalty.
when he blew
is
that
criminal.
penalty, I was like, what's
a
his
criminal.
brain thinking?
criminal.
Like, how does he come to a
criminal.
conclusion that that's a penalty? Like,
Now,
But
few
I'm more
things, a few
upset that
things.
VAR doesn't.
Because it's
VAR has
silly.
to overturn that. That's what VAR.
No, they
has to
don't.
do.
No,
Yes,
they
they
don't.
do. Clear. That
make
is
him
clear
look
and
at it
obvious.
again.
No, when there's clear.
That is
like,
not clear and
for me,
obvious.
I stand by the
Never
clear and
see it
obvious
again
thing.
this season.
For me in my life, I stand by VAR should be used for clear and obvious mistakes, and that for me was he thought it was in real time. He's like, okay, maybe a foul. That's a clear and obvious mistake. Clear.
Okay, hold on. So you just said, had he called the foul outside the box, you would have been like, I get it.
Sure, whatever. No, I said I'd be like, fine. I wouldn't like be happy about it. I'd just be like, fine, cool. Call
Okay,
the foul
now-
because that's
now
where
hear me.
most of the contact happened
Okay, hear me out. Okay, so
on either
had,
player, by the way. He
Yeah.
could have called it either way, and I'd have been fine.
he could have called it either way.
Yeah, because the other dude's pulling him too. It's like you call it if you're gonna call a foul, most of the jostling happened outside of the box. They
Okay,
both
so-
fell inside the box. There's no jostling left.
One player fell onto the other player inside the box. So let me ask you this. If
Mhm.
if I'm talking future plays inside the box, a corner, whatever it happens to be. If I'm the player and I slip and take out an attacking player, what are we calling here? Oh, he slipped. His cleats, he didn't pick the right cleats. He slipped. Oh, what can he do? You prevent a player from playing onto the ball, it's a foul. So that's why I understand why they didn't overturn it. That's how I get it. It wasn't clear and obvious. Now we can
I've
all
seen
disagree.
We saw a slip the other day. I can't remember what game it was in, where dude was on the line, fell, hands down, ball hits his arm, and they're like,
Chalaba.
yeah, and they're just like, we're not going to call it penalty because clearly, like he didn't know anything about it. He felt like
Wait,
there's
did you
got to be
call?
there
Wait, sorry.
has to be
Did you talk
intention,
about
bro.
ball?
Odegaard versus Liverpool.
Did you talk
The
about
handball.
There's gotta
ball?
be
You're talking about ball to
intention.
hand, or you're talking about a player to player?
No, I'm just because you're using the slip philosophy, which I'm giving.
No, I'm
you
using
as
a slip
example.
onto another.
And I'm
player
saying
to
we've
continue
seen no, but
improving.
not onto a player. Like, let's just talk about.
No, I don't want.
falling
No, I
or
want to
whatever.
keep it specific to this.
No.
Because this
There's
is
no
a
Because
play
it
point
never
in keeping
on
it
happened.
another
specific
player.
because there's no point in keeping it specific to falling into. It's like you have to keep it to if you are falling because of whatever reason, like you didn't.
No.
You can't. It's
Cam, we're not going to
listen,
talk about ball to hand or hand to ball in this.
I'm just saying,
that
if you
example.
go down by accident and it's like a complete just slip and you have no idea what's going on and it doesn't impact the play, like, I don't think that impacted the play at all. I don't
Okay.
think it stopped Buddy from getting to the ball. I think it just stopped both of them. It was a coming
Okay.
together.
But if
I don't know
again,
why you're fighting this. This is a bad call, bro. This is very obviously
Nah.
a bad call. As
I've seen
somebody who has
Spurs
no
fans
horse
saying
in
it's a
the
bad
race,
call on the timeline. Like
that
this.
was a bad call, dude.
Yeah.
Vator,
The-
can you just name one instance
It's
that is
so
exactly
bad.
the same as this? Because I've not seen one this season where someone falls or is because the last contact is Harrison. Skelly's losing balance, and the last contact is Harrison's hand on him that pushes him down. And then he's on the floor. He puts his hand out.
Okay.
Ref, it's a foul. Because why
Okay,
else
but
has he got his hands out? It's a foul.
But this is the funny thing. If there's him pushing him down, right? If he was pushing him down, the way he fell was actually the opposite direction. The man's pushing him this way, and he ended up falling this way.
Because
He
saying
sold the foul. He
Ugh.
sold it. But both of them. My whole thing is, if you're gonna jostle and fight for it, if you lose that battle, you're not then gonna flop and be like, "Oh, he fouled me," because he initiated. You're initiating and you're trying to jostle. So this is a point where I'm like, you know what? I get why they called it. That's why I'm saying, Arsenal fans, that shouldn't be the point of the conversation. The point of
It's
the conversation, okay. But this is why I came off me, because all of you guys saw it differently, and I want to express that. I want to express that different point.
That's fair.
So you want to see those incidents given as penalties?
I don't think we see a defender do that again.
You
all
see it
over.
every week,
No,
every
no.
game.
No,
It
defenders
happens
get
every
touched
corner.
and
There's
fall
like
over
they're
and
grappling
get-
each other. They're throwing each other to the
Yes,
ground.
the grappling happens every time. They're pulling on each other. I saw
That
in the
was actually
United
going to
game-
be my next question to
Timber.
Vator. The question that Martin just asked, because I've been sitting back just listening to everything you guys are saying, just kind of understanding where everyone is coming from. Here's my thing, Vator.
Hmm.
If this type of penalty is given week in, week out, this sport is fucked, basically.
No.
Like, that's the thing. Even if you do want to say there is contact there, it is so soft. Like, if we start giving penalties like that,
Let me ask you a
Salah
question.
running into the penalty box can get about 5 penalties the same exact way tomorrow. I'm not even exaggerating. Salah dribbling past the left back and just running into the box. If he feels a tap or a touch or like this, he can just go down. That's it. Penalty,
Yeah.
penalty. The thing is, like, with penalties, and I know when you asked Cam, he's like, is it going to be a foul outside the box, right? That's what you
Yeah.
asked him. He said
Yeah.
yes. But I do think that things inside the box and outside the box should be refed differently to a certain extent. And this is another thing I was about to bring up, and big up to C23 who brought it up. He says you're allowed to go shoulder to shoulder.
Absolutely.
And that's my thing. Look, I've been in my shameless bag against Arsenal for a while now. I've been very shameless. But watching that tackle today, there was another angle that was not shown on BN. I think Rory posted. It was the angle from behind the goal. The angle from behind the goal,
Yeah,
which shows
like
the
on
whole
an angle,
thing.
like from a corner flag.
No, from behind the goal.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so like this is the goal, basically, the chair. Like they showed the angle from here.
Okay.
You get
Okay.
So they showed the angle from behind the goal where you can see the whole action, right? I don't think that that's a penalty. And I'll take it a step further. I think it was a clear and obvious error. So it should have been ruled off by VAR because it was clear and obvious. And you know what it is? I think this clear and obvious thing is just the coping mechanism for like VAR and the PGMOL to go like, it wasn't clear and obvious, so we can't rule it out. And that's the thing that I hate.
How do you define
If I'm watching that and I'm the English Premier League and I'm making hundreds of millions and I got all those camera angles, there's no way I watch that 3-4 times from different angles and go like, oh yeah, that's a penalty. That's such a soft penalty. I don't think it's a penalty.
Okay.
Let
me ask Cam a question.
Okay, cool. What's up?
So you remember what was it? The fleeting pull nonsense that they talked in that game when Maguire. It was Maguire and
That's the
someone else.
Everton again.
Okay. Maguire, and I forget who the other defender was.
Maguire didn't even touch him. So the mistake was
did.
Maguire.
No, they both did.
No, Maguire. I watched the
Maguire.
I watched it too.
Maguire's didn't barely touched him, and that's why they called it back. It was De Ligt who actually got the tug on him. It wasn't Maguire. He didn't touch it. He was like,
No. Okay, so I went and watched it too, and everyone was emphasizing on Maguire's non-touch or whatever light touch, but the foul was actually De Ligt. I forgot who the defender was, but there were two preventing him from getting onto that to be able to try and to be able to try and score.
So I'm going to go back to the point of what
and they overturned it.
This is the thing.
I thought it was a pen.
Tom just said
this is why I'm
he thinks that they should. No, he's saying he's saying it should have been called a pen on De Ligt, not Maguire, when they went back and looked at it. Here's the thing. And this is the fact of that whole thing.
Cam, this is why I'm consistent. Ashley
Young didn't. There's a thing about, and I agree with what Sam just said. Our game is like the game is dead. If you call all of this,
victim shame right now.
No.
Every corner
it's not
will be a
victim shame.
penalty.
It's like every corner will be a penalty. There's been multiple times I've seen Maguire held down. I've seen whatever. I've had to get over it because I'm like, listen. They've made it clear we're not calling certain.
How many times did the best player in the league get pulled down the same exact way in the penalty box and it doesn't get given?
When you look at it from that perspective, what actually killed that penalty call was what Ashley Young did. Ashley Young made it seem like, and I listened to they gave us the recording so you could actually hear them talk it through. They were like, "Do we think that De Ligt's tug forced Ashley Young to do that movement?" And they're like, no, because he went like, and he like was barely touched. I think there's a world where, as Hussam said, if Lewis Skelly learns how to like go down instead of fighting everything, there's certain. But
as soon as Harrison touches you, we're not
controlling. But here's the moment. If you do dive and you do it wrong, it also hurts you because they go, well, that was super exaggerated. There's no way that pulled you down. So we can't call a penalty, which is what they were saying. They're like, that motion could not have caused him to do what he did. So how do we know that what actually held him back? So if you're going to say every little touch in the box, every little piece is a penalty, we're going to get 3-4 pens a game. We're going to get 3-4 pens a game.
I want to make a point here. Okay, like 2 days ago, Tarkovsky did that tackle on Mecca, right? I think everyone can agree that was a horrible tackle. We all saw it happening before it happened. But the VAR was just like, nah, that's fine, cleared it. Meanwhile, the commentator's going nuts, going, that's a red, blah, blah, blah. He's going to call that a red. Completely surprised everyone. I feel like there's an encouragement also almost for these teams sometimes from the referees to just, if you're a lowly team and you're coming up against a big team, kick lumps out of them. We want to see that. The people want to see that. They want to see top dogs getting knocked off their perch. And I feel like Everton gets a green card to do a whole bunch of dirty stuff pretty much every game because of this, because they're at the bottom of the league and no one really thinks they're going to win anything. I think that Liverpool has had so many of these situations that they understand that it'll just be given sometimes and there's nothing you can do about it. And I think they should change the shape of the box. There's no point in giving a penalty at a corner of the box for a really non-threatening situation, which is nowhere near being a goal. All of a sudden, it's pretty much a guaranteed goal from like a bit of contact that we see. Look, even 2 seconds later, there was a corner, and everyone's like arms around each other. They're like tripping each other over. They're landing on each other. You can't make any kind of consistency out of these.
And that's why when I asked Vator the question earlier on, if that is given as a penalty, then with all due respect, every corner there will be a penalty.
Literally. Every corner, because people
literally
just say,
every corner penalty.
I fell down, now it fell into the player. But Martin, you said something there where I don't know if you watch the NBA. I know Hussam knows some ball. It's like there's the history of play like teams.
Big up the
like,
Warriors going on a run, saving the NBA.
They there's I hate the Lakers, so I'm happy about it. But there's certain players, there's certain teams who have a philosophy. The Pistons are normally the best to use, like the bad boy Pistons. The bad boy Indiana Pacers team back in the day. If I foul you every single play, we can't call it. And that's how Everton plays. You are right. I was just pulling that out. Like the fact is, like Everton, that's how they're grimy. They muck up the game. They are all over you all game. So it makes it tough for ref to be like, do I literally give every single play? And when I said Brexit, when I was talking about, by the way, I didn't even realize you guys were live when I said that earlier when I was talking about my kid, which is hilarious. When I was talking about Brexit football in the Crystal Palace Brighton game, the ref got to a point where he's like, I got to start calling some of this shit because every single play, guys, go back and watch it. High boots, tackles flying in. It was crazy. So the ref got to a point where he's like, all right, that's another high kick. That's not like you're out, you're gone. And I do think there's an element of the way Everton play that allows them to get away with more than they should. And I don't actually have a problem with that personally. I think it's like, if you're going to muck it up and you're going to do it all game and you're going to put the pressure on the ref, I do think the Tarkowski foul should have, without a doubt, been a red. But it is what it is. Some team style is let's just get down and dirty and muck up the game and put it on the refs.
You guys are kind of right though. MLS has.
Let me ask you guys a question because this is also a conversation that's been had. Just before we carry on as well, big up to UC23 for the super chat. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. I want to ask Martin this question. Do you think there is a Lewis Skelly agenda from referees?
I think that we saw that Michael Oliver's red card being overturned really probably put the PGMOL in a position where they feel like they can do whatever they want on him. But he has to learn how to milk these situations. Say, for example, we played against West Ham and there was that red card where he was one-on-one with Kudus. He got fouled. We didn't see it at the time, but I saw it after the game. They showed an angle and he gets elbowed in the head by Kudus. But instead he's like, I'm just going to keep like trying to stop Kudus instead of being like, oh, I got elbowed in the head and I need to go down. He's like, no, I can't let him be the last man. So naively, maybe he's just trying to be too honest, and you can't be that way. You have to make a big deal out of it. You have to make the referee make a decision in that moment, or you're going to be the one that's getting screwed over. But it amuses me that VAR chooses which angles they show in replays that we don't even know about until after the game. Like you were talking about the other angle of the foul from behind the goal. It's like the referee, if they make a big decision, it's going to affect the outcome of the game, should be put in front of a TV which shows them all of the angles. And if they don't see an angle where a player's getting elbowed in the head before the foul that gets called, then what are we doing here? Like,
I also think this game is gone.
Do you think there's an agenda against Lewis Skelly, Vator?
No. But what he is a young player that doesn't have the resume yet. He doesn't have the CV. So kind of like the benefit of the call or the let's kind of go with you in your favor. He doesn't have that yet. He doesn't have that reputation. I don't think he's being targeted. I don't think they're like isolating him in terms of what harsh calls are going to give him. But he does, like Martin says, everyone's saying, he does have to build through and show the consistent player that he tends to be. Playing through a foul, okay, this is where I'm like, this game's kind of lost. This game's lost if there's, and I get he was fouled, he was elbowed in the head, so that is a foul. But you know when you see the glance touches of the jaw or the side of the head, and then you got players like grabbing and falling like it's they're concussed. That's where things need to let's man up a little bit here. We know what this game's about. There's physicality. There's some contact.
Yeah, but that's smart. That's how you win games.
Oh, see, Martin, it's not.
I don't want to see it. But
this is like a very North American. We hate it.
Do you guys think that the referees are friends outside the pitch, like all 20 referees?
Definitely.
I think most of them are. Listen,
they're all from the North.
Here's my
they work together. Some are official. Some
do
the sideline.
Creators are friends.
Can I give you my conspiracy? Let me give you my conspiracy. Lewis Skelly is the reason why one of their friends, Michael Oliver, essentially is not refereeing big games anymore, etc., 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 etc. We saw with David Coote the Klopp thing that referees do hold grudges, and this whole pretending that referees are saints is a load of horse shit. Do you guys think that Lewis Skelly now becomes a thing where, like, every time he makes a tackle or even an iffy decision, they're gonna make it against him? Max, I see you nodding. You tell me.
No, that's what I was gonna say. He's building himself a reputation. You've got Romero, Jefferson Lerma, Lee Cattermole back in the day. These players,
Sandro Martinez.
Yes, exactly. These kind of players. If there's like a 60-40 or 50-50, they're gonna go against you.
They're gonna go against him.
Yes, they're going to go against him.
Casemiro.
But what he needs to do, and this is my advice to him, he needs to start being more street smart. Because he keeps giving the referees these decisions to make. The PSV game. And now, here, he's giving them decisions to make. So he needs to just learn and just calm down a little. But at the same time, he's not actually a defender. So maybe he should just be moved to his actual position. Because that's a bigger problem long term.
So can I say, I don't know if there's like, I hear what you're saying, because I'm like, there without a doubt, right? Like, it's an industry, right? You're like, that's what you got to look at it. Refereeing that's an industry within football. So
Yes.
just like players, just like coaches are friends. It is an industry, and you are going to have friends within your industry. That's just how it works. I think I'm not so sure that it's turning into like where they're like, oh, this Lewis Skelly guy, we're going to go after because of our friend. I think it's more about a reputation that gets built, like you're saying, Max, where it's kind of like,
Yeah.
if you continue to give the refs a reason, they will find a reason, right?
But don't you also
and
think
I
it's like his
as he
celebration versus
becomes more
Haaland, where
prolific
he's like,
and more, sorry, go on.
Sorry. I just think, like, you know, when he did that
I'm
celebration of
lagging,
Haaland,
so.
I feel like the overall opinion from everyone was like, who is this kid? He needs to be humbled. And I feel like maybe the referees are on that kind of game.
So that's the thing. The whole humbling thing's nonsense. And I do think as he continues to grow and become, I think this happens with every player who's on the come up. Like we saw it, like, listen, I saw it with the Rashfords of the world where he wasn't getting calls for a long time before he became somebody people trusted. Like I saw, like you see it with even Sako used to get, still does. But how much did Saka get kicked?
Is that a color thing?
How much did he get kicked? Right? Like as he was coming up, before it's now like automatically, if you kick him, you're going to give him the foul. He used to get brutalized, right? So I do think there's a little bit of building your reputation, and
Saka
because
still
he
gets kicked like that, and
but he
doesn't get fouls
but
anymore.
I think with Skelly, it's like because he went so hard on the man now, there is some bias. But I don't know if I don't know if we can say like I get what you're saying. So I just don't know if we can say that the refs are like, oh, you screwed my friend over, so now we're gonna screw you over. I don't know.
But can I ask a genuine question? Why not?
Did he go hard?
No. Think about the question that you just said. You just asked a question that's perfectly valid if the David Coote thing didn't happen. Don't you think the David Coote thing genuinely exposed that what I'm saying is an actual possibility? Why not? Why don't the referees now, every time Lewis Skelly makes a foul, I'm going to give a foul against Lewis Skelly if it's a penalty? Because here's the thing. Usually, and this is the reality, even the Lewis Skelly like West Ham game thing, right? I think it was a red. I think it was the correct decision. Also, what doesn't help is the fact that Raya is like 50 meters off his line, so that's why it should be given as a red. However, I'm going to be objective here. Usually what the referees do, 90% of the time, casing point Tarkovsky 2 days ago, is they would usually give a yellow and then wait for VAR to go like, no, it's actually a red, send him off.
That's right.
Why did he send him off directly? Why was a penalty given directly in the MLS situation? Why? Because I do think that he is the reason, and alongside the Arsenal fans and the media response and everything, as to why Michael Oliver maybe doesn't referee the big games anymore. He was literally scheduled to referee Liverpool Man City, and he got dumped off of that. We've seen pictures before of them all hanging out in Thailand and them all hanging out in all these countries all over the world and shit like that. Why can't it be a thing where, okay, every time Skelly makes even a 50-50, I'm going to go against him?
I think
they already hate Arteta. Like they did that court case thing where they said that Arteta needs to be held to a higher standard to other managers because he's high profile, and they admitted that they treat him differently to others. It's part of their doctrine. And for us to think that Coote is the only one doing drugs and organizing, parties at halftime, I think it's crazy. They're all doing the same stuff. They're high as
the Coote thing though. But the Coote thing, it's like he can't it's biased onto a team. So where I will agree with you is if you're asking the question, could now the refs have a bias onto the entire Arsenal team versus just Skelly? If that's the thing, that's different. And I don't want to be part of the whole Arsenal's been saying this for a long time, which is kind of why it kills it. It does suck because if you guys have been doing it for so long that now that it might be a thing, it makes it hard for me to be like, oh, it is, because you've been doing it when it wasn't, in my opinion. You had been doing it when it wasn't, and now it's
What?
like, yes, Arsenal fans have been calling out people like ref like shit
What,
for.
Man
You're an older
United
guy,
versus
Cam.
Arsenal?
You
Well,
know,
you
don't be
lot robbed us.
disingenuous.
How many times
I
Old
have
Trafford?
seen
Come
these
on.
things happen though in a different way. The media used to call Salah a diver when he first came to England, and it almost seemed like he needed to get like drop
Murdered.
kicked to his back to get a foul. Like you see it, by the way, you see it even till today. Sometimes like the guys like doing like this to him, like and just grabbing him this way and pulling him down, and like no foul is given. Here's my problem with what Cam is saying. He's being very logical, but my problem is we're putting the referee in like the saint level where he's gonna be unbiased and objective and fair the whole time. But I do believe that they do think that way. Oh, you're the guy that is the reason why Michael Oliver in there.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Foul.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying based on, I just don't think it's one player. I said if your point holds water, it's got to be then you're saying they're going after Arsenal.
No, but they went after Granit Xhaka, and that was definitely one
If
player.
Andy Robertson makes that same exact tackle against Jack Harrison at Anfield, is that given as a penalty?
Coming together.
Yes, it's not a penalty. I promise it
That-
won't be given.
So fair enough.
If
I hear
Guardiola
what-
does that, is it a penalty? No.
But that's what I said. Kivior
Yeah, but
or
if-
Ben White. They
if
ain't giving a
Casemiro,
penalty.
but if Casemiro or Martinez does it, it's a penalty and a red. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, probably.
so this is where, okay, fair enough. This is where players' reputations in the back. Like we've seen Cass, sure, he's earned a lot of his reds. He has, but then we've seen ones where it's like it's just because of his reputation he gets a red. Like last
Yeah,
week,
they got him on that technicality of
And his-
choking,
and
but I've seen other people choke.
bro, in that whole skirmish, there was like 6 other guys who choked and whatever,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like that guy, and you're
I
like,
think Tommy Asu got choked out by an Everton player on the sideline or something. Or no,
Yes,
Kai
yes.
Havertz got choked out. It's like,
Casemiro
always
has a
Everton.
reputation, right? So it's when a player has a reputation, and I don't think Skelly's old enough to have this, to be honest. I do, and this is where now I'm coming to hear what you're saying. For him to already have a reputation, fair enough. There's probably a little bit of, and listen, refs are in any sport. Refs are not fully unbiased. Like we know this. Like they are humans. The NBA is actually the way there's a ref who came out and talked about it, like and literally said like people are
do you think
gambling and
that
all
there's
that.
a thing? I think Arteta mentioned this in the All or Nothing documentary that there's a tendency to build people up and then like crash them down as hard as possible. I feel like
That
the
is
Premier League
the-
has this thing that like if
that
you
is
think you're
English
big,
media.
That is
try to
English
come in the
media.
Premier League and then we'll make you a tiny little person like they did to Anthony or whatever, right? Like
Bro, the English Premier League, the whole media around it is their entire MO, and I could go on this in a whole philosophical marketing PR.
Beckham,
Like I could go
98.
down the whole route of like PR for this. Their whole thing is build somebody up and fucking destroy them the first chance they can. We saw it with Rashford. We saw it with Sancho. You see it with Sancho was supposed to be the golden boy. Let's not forget. Like he was supposed to be the guy, and now they just destroy as they should. He's been bad, but like Rashford, let's be honest, what he got destroyed for was not fair. I'm sorry, this man was like doing good deeds, and they're just like, you're supposed to focus on it. That was insane to me. So, and not just him, you see it across the league. You see it with different players, like Trent. Trent was one of them. I'm sorry, like and I'm objective because I follow England. I'm an England supporter. The best right back for me for the England team was Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's the guy, right? But this guy got built up and then torn to shreds because he doesn't defend well enough, and it's like, but that's not what the fuck you have him out there to do. So it's like this is their whole thing. I could go down so many players. It's like you bring that up, that's a whole thesis for me. Building players up just to break them down is what they do. Building teams up just to break them down. Listen, Newcastle, if they make the Champions League and they kill it and do Sterling, perfect example. Let's say Newcastle's the new darlings. All of a sudden, if Newcastle makes Champions League over and over and over, what are they going to start talking about? All the other shit that they haven't been talking about. Their ownership, they're this, they're that. They will break them down because that is how you get people to pay attention. It is actually a formula. It's formulaic. Like the only way they can't do it is when you do something what Liverpool is doing or Salah's doing, where it's like they love breaking down Salah every Christmas and being like, oh, this is that. Not just him, everybody. They love breaking him down, but you can't break him down right now because he is so far, like he's just the best. Like there's nothing you can say. But the moment, I promise you, if they were in a title race, if Liverpool were actually in a title race and you were close, and Salah had this little streak that he's had where he hasn't scored for a few goals, all of a sudden it's going to be, oh, he's a GA merchant. He's not actually that good. Have you, like, that is, it's, sorry, you triggered me there because I've thought so deeply about the building up to break down, especially in the own thoughts of my own club, because that's what United has been. We've been built up to be broken down for the last 10 years. Yes, it's our own doing, but it goes too far. Like, why do we get talked about so much when we're in 13th?
Hey, you guys get a free ride.
Let me ask Andrew because he's just joined us. Andrew, was it a penalty, and is there a conspiracy against Lewis Skelly?
I don't believe in conspiracies to begin with. I just feel that's an easy excuse for people to go. But I do think that he's been targeted because he did a celebration against City, and in this country people don't like arrogant. People perceive that to be arrogance, but I don't perceive that to be arrogance. In
selectively, like they didn't see Haaland throwing a ball at Gabriel's head before, and they don't have a problem with some things.
In the UK, they don't like two things. They don't like successful people. They like the underdog and the runner-up. They always praise the runner-up. As you always hear in commentary, or people go, whoever wins, they go, oh yeah, he won, but let's give it to the guy who finished second or third or something like that. So
unless it's Arsenal.
Yeah, and then they don't like newcomers doing something against the established teams or people. Do you know what I mean? Like that, they don't like it. I have the penalty. I'm not really serious. I didn't watch the game today, so I've not seen it or anything like that. I'm getting a mixed response, but we see the problem is it's inconsistent refereeing, right? You'll see
you've got to see it to understand that.
You'll see the same. You might see the same thing tomorrow, and it's not given, right? That's the problem. You know what I mean? Even by VAR, that's the problem we have, and we have with officiating. But I like Lewis Skelly. You know, first of all, he's not even a left back, and he's playing well in a position he's not even good at. He's not even the best in. And I like people. I think if people are getting onto him, he's obviously doing something right. Yeah, do you know what I mean? He's not rubbish this season.
Haaland said to him, "Who the F are you?" and he showed him, and I feel like he had right of reply, but he probably did it too publicly. And
I like the way he got booked before he even played a minute of football. You know what I mean? This he got booked on the sideline. I like it. I like he's not intimidated by the established by Haaland or something like that, because that's what Haaland and others will try and intimidate a young player, and he said no, and I like it. You know what I mean? But the penalty, like I said, I haven't seen it, but we're going to get every team's got those type of decisions against them and for them. Do you know what I mean?
I think we've just got zero faith in the system that they have in place actually getting to the right decisions. Like, I want the referee to have like a mobile phone strapped to his arm so he can look at replays to make decisions in real time without these like guys up in the sky who just reinforce whatever referee. They don't want to embarrass their mate, blah, blah, blah. I think the whole thing's just not working in its current form.
Stockley Park.
The VAR system is so weird that you have like refs who are normally refs in other games be VAR. Like, it should be foreign referees brought in who do not ever referee a Premier League game should be your VAR. Like Secaucus or New York for NFL, Secaucus for the NBA. The people making those calls aren't referees. Like, they aren't people who are normally on the touchlines of the pitch or the court. Like, it is other people who are looking at it, making a decision. Exactly. Specialists they're rule specialists. And they're saying, based on what we're seeing, yes, I'm sure some of them could be refs or whatever, but they're not actual refs in the NBA. They're not actual refs in the NFL. They are specialists who understand the rules, and they're saying, based on what we're seeing, that is X call. It's like NFL has something called expedited replay now. When they see somebody like drop a ball and the ref missed it, they're like, yo, we don't even need you to go look at this, or like, we saw it 100%. That wasn't a catch, and we're overruling it. And it's not a ref doing it. And I think that's the problem with VAR. It's you have literally Michael Oliver reffing a game one day, then he's VAR for another. Like, you have your brain is the same brain as the other dude. That's I
know you want to move on, but I think they just need like a challenge system. Like, you can force them to
challenge would be cool.
Look at that instant and say, okay, show us every angle. And if you're going to stick with that decision, fine. But like, you just put your trust that VAR's reviewed something and you hear, VAR's looking at it. Oh, it's been cleared. You don't know how much they looked at it or if they gave a shit.
So performance-wise, just so we can get some football talk going, and then we'll move on to the Manchester derby. Just performance-wise, were you good enough today, Martin?
No, I wasn't looking for like a performance that's going to convince me against Real Madrid. I was just looking to survive this game and hopefully get 3 points. I'll live with a draw because the game we've got on Tuesday it's like a pinnacle moment where we have to show the level that this team has got to, even with injuries and whatever other challenges. This is like what you've been working for. Forget Everton. Look, the league, we can't win it. We couldn't have won it if we won this game. We just need to stay in the top 4. Performance-wise, I'm not looking at it. I don't care. But 5 out of 10.
Yeah, man. I have to agree because this game it was very bland as usual, and I only gave funny enough Miles Lewis, Skelly, and Trossard any credit from the game. This like not a lot of players can really take credit from the game. Kivior done well, but are we gonna play Kivior against Real Madrid? We can't play him against Real Madrid.
I
We
hope
play
not.
him against Real Madrid,
Hope
we're in
not.
trouble. And what Miles Lewis, Skelly, this sometimes lapses of concentration against Rodrigo. It could be dangerous, man. I'm just hoping and praying. That's what I'm doing.
Well, that penalty situation came because Kivior left the ball, I think, which we could have intercepted too. So it's just another example of like,
Yeah.
he might not look like he's doing anything bad, but he's doing bad stuff there that's going to make us give away goals to Real
You
Madrid.
have this Kivior agenda. He was like man of the match today.
Look, anyone watched him Bayern last time, or any time he's played? Didn't he give you guys a goal when we played you? Didn't he like pass you guys the
Yeah,
ball?
it was him. Him. I'm
You
sure it
remember
was
that?
him.
To make it 2-2. Anyway, I don't want to get into it.
Salah.
I don't. He's not reliable, and I think we've learned from this. If we haven't learned from this, then the manager's got to go and everyone's got to go because you need to find some way of playing the players you can rely on and not hoping that some dude's going to become good, like in a massive game.
You're talking about manager gonna go. I've never heard this from Martin before. Let's go to a hypothetical scenario. Tuesday, 3-0 to Madrid. What are you saying?
Stuck him in the tunnel.
I'm saying he's got to go to Bernabeu and win 4-0 to like keep his job.
Sack him in the
Wow.
tunnel.
You can't sack him in the middle of a 2-legged tie. But
Why
Dude,
not?
so
Didn't
good.
Chelsea lose? Andrew, you remind us. Weren't Chelsea losing like 3-0 or 4-0, and then was it Di Matteo that come in and won 4-1 or something?
You remind us and rivals that you're not Chelsea. So what are we doing here?
thank God.
On that note,
No. That was the problem is that was against Napoli, brother. I was up at 3-0 at the Bernabeu, 5 minutes away from going through, and just the voodoo kicked in. And there's something weird about that everyone goes up.
Yep.
Yesterday, Valencia. People have to understand. Real Madrid view the La Liga. If they win the Liga as a bonus trophy, they don't see it as the major one to win.
Yeah, let's not talk too much Real Madrid.
They are built.
That'll trigger
They are built for Champions League winning, and if they win a league, it's a bonus trophy.
Let's not talk about Real Madrid too much. That'll trigger Hussam.
And
I'm
just
just
to
saying,
clarify,
no.
that will trigger Hussam. Like you were not up at the Bernabeu and then lost in 30 seconds. Be quiet.
I'm not losing. I'm not losing.
Everyone on the
Our
stream
boy.
has been victim
Well,
of Real
defeated.
Madrid, and the only reason why Arsenal ain't been a victim of Real Madrid is because the last time that they faced them was 30 years ago.
Look at
anyway, so.
them.
No,
Look at
20
them
years ago when we won.
Look at the
So it was
midweek.
beautiful.
Look at the midweek against Sociedad. Just look at that. You know what I mean? It's just
Andrew,
it's
you want to know
mental.
what's funny? It's
mental.
always like in a quarterfinal or a semi.
Yeah.
As soon as Madrid are about to play, they just
Yeah.
end up losing. And you just know for a fact that they're just going to play completely differently and turn the fuck up against like Arsenal.
Yes.
So,
It's
yeah, like that's what
You
I
guys
think.
hope so.
To
I hope
be
that they
fair,
have
we've
the
only
worst
lost
performance
No, it's not
ever.
even hope, so it's more of a prediction than anything.
We've
Yeah.
only lost to
Who
Madrid
wants
4
Arsenal to
times.
go
Not so
through?
bad.
Can I see a
Tell them,
raise
Cam.
hands?
Tell these guys.
No.
No one wants us to go through. Okay.
And by the
I
way,
personally,
You do?
I
kind
don't
of-
think
I'm
we
not
can
gonna
go
lie,
through without a 3-goal lead.
Sorry, go ahead, Cam.
I kind of do, only because like it just breaks this whole. The only reason I want it to happen is guys like Hussam, I'm not gonna lie, and the rest of the people who have been like Arsenal have zero chance. That's why I want them to go through. Listen, Arsenal for me, and this is like as a United fan, like I've always been honest. I haven't been watching football for 25. Like Vader, you get it. Like we barely could get games in Canada. Like you'd have to watch like international games. It just wasn't a thing. When I
Or get
started
games
watching
recorded on
heavy,
VHS,
right? Like when I started watching, the Arsenal United rivalry was bigger than the Liverpool one. Like I had to learn about the Liverpool United beef because like Liverpool sucked
never
for
good
so
at the
long,
same time.
right? They were never good at the same time. So I've always been honest about this. It's like it took me a bit to really understand that rivalry because what I grew up was watching, you know, Vieira versus Keane and Burkett. Like that's when I started, and I was young. That's when I started understanding it a bit, and then getting to like more international football was what I started watching. So I fucking hate Arsenal a lot. Like I really don't like Arsenal at all.
Right back at ya.
I got real beef with Arsenal as a team. Like when I look at them, I have no love for them. Even when you guys were fucking smoking us with like Ozil and Sanchez and the talks in Rio was like, man, this sucks. Like we used to dummy these guys. Like that used to bother me. But now I'm able to put the whole thing aside because I'm so involved with like fans and friends and people that I just want to see some people look dumb. And Hussam, I'm sorry, you went so hard. Ahmed, another one, went so hard, like no chance. But it's like, guys, this is Champions League. I've always said this about Champions League, and in my opinion, Champions League, yo, that like's crazy, bro. I'm sorry, just sorry. That was crazy. That's cool.
I do want to move on to talk about the Manchester derby,
Sorry,
though,
yeah,
and this is.
so I just like for me that whole. I would like to see Arsenal do it just to shut everybody up.
What, win the
Or to
Champions
go to
League?
the final and lose.
Not
you know?
win, not win. I do not want just beat Madrid and then lose.
Aye, Arsenal.
Nafisa,
if we
I have
lose,
a
we
quick
can
message
lose
for
to
you.
Emery,
Nafisa.
right? We can lose to Emery.
Nafisa, this is for you, mate.
Let I tell you something, you fucking American, get the fuck out my club and go back to fucking America.
Canada.
I actually bet my future generations, my future life, you get me, on Arsenal not winning this Champions League. So,
Oh wow.
you get me? Hala Madrid y nada más.
Your
Anyway.
unborn children? Is that what
Yes.
you're talking about?
Yes. Anyway, the poll, 233 votes. 54% say it's a penalty and 46% say it's not a penalty.
No,
Yeah,
they're trolling. They're trolling.
There's a lot of
They're
Arsenal
trolling.
hate out there, baby.
Yeah,
don't say they're
trolling.
trolling. Just because
Nah,
it doesn't
trolling.
go, just because you
They're
don't
trolling.
agree, don't say they're trolling. Don't do that.
Hey, I watched football
I've
for longer
seen
than all of you guys,
90%
so I know what's a
people say
penalty.
it's a penalty. There's only
There's no way
10%.
it's a
5 of them are trolls. 5% are trolls.
Ain't no way that's bad.
Fine. Trolls, not trolls. It is what it is. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Guys, let's just get to 200 likes. We have 550 people in here. Let's get to 550. Let's get to 200 likes ASAP. So everyone, please hit the like button. Everyone, please subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Exactly. More people have voted on the poll than actually like the video. So like the video, you frauds. Every single one of you, please do like the video. Please subscribe. So, guys. Manchester derby. Big up to Football Carnage for the raid. Big up to Zir for the raid. And big up to my guy Omar for the raid. Big up everyone who raided us today. Big up to you, Will. So, Manchester derby. Vator, I'm going to start off with you. You got away to the Old Trafford. You get me? Talk to me. How are you feeling about this whole thing?
You know what? Listen, we talk about what seasons are all about. What are we playing for? I'm playing for different things this season. I see Hussam comfortable. 8 games left in the league. He's not even worried. He's not even concerned about his title. He knows it's wrapped up. This is different. I'm playing for top 4, top 5. I'm playing for something different this season. And honestly, what? Think I don't have a chance at top 4?
I mean, you're playing for top 5. To be fair, though, like I'm just saying. Like,
yeah. But even though it's for me, I'm one of the rare ones. It still means something for me to finish 4th, then 5th, 3rd, then 4th, 2nd, and like how I finish is really important to me, right? So I'm playing for.
You're so fucking dramatic, Vator. You're actually a drama queen. I realize.
No, I'm not.
Why are you so dramatic? So if you finish 5th, you get Champions League football. If you finish 4th, you get Champions League football. Oh no, it means a lot to me to get 4th. So what does it mean then?
It does. Listen, I'm
Why are you
different that
so
way.
dramatic unnecessarily?
I'm not dramatic. Finishes.
The table never lies.
Words matter. Table, exactly. Finishes matter. I want to end the season as best as I can, and I think that Aston Villa gave me a favor today. They did me a favor. I still got my sights set on Forest. I might still have my sights set on Arsenal. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. But this game, this United game, this derby, I'm never comfortable playing against these guys ever. And when we want to talk about things we've never seen before, when we want to talk about PGMOL, I had to play a game not so long ago where I thought we've all seen it. We've played football. I thought it was a clear offsides. And then for some miracle,
that's the last bad decision that went against you guys.
Oh, that's the last one. Okay, but we all got to deal with stuff. And these derbies, there's always something crazy that happens. There's always something that like, oh damn, here we go. Rashford with the banger. I'm so glad that he's on loan right now. That I don't have to worry about Rashford because he does turn up in these derbies.
He loves playing Man City.
He does. He absolutely loves it. And I mean, he's one of your own, but you guys are ready to send him out. I'm looking forward to this game because obviously it means something. I got to stay within this top 4, this top 5. It's going to be a different game because I got to play this game without, some familiar faces in terms of my attack. I don't have the big man up front. I don't got Haaland. And for anyone that says, "Oh, City are better without Haaland," shut the heck up. No, we are not.
Yes.
Yeah, you could say that. It's easy to say.
Versus us,
I'd rather
you probably would be. Versus us, you're probably better without him.
Oh, everyone says that. Liverpool.
Manchester United have no Amad Diallo and no Ugarte, right, Cam?
Bro, we have no Amad Diallo.
Why are we talking about United? I thought we were talking about
Menu. We have no. I could go down the list, bro. Everybody's
my segment's over. I can't talk about.
No, your segment's over. But why are you like presupposing excuses on our faces? Like,
who's doing excuses?
You're just throwing out all these excuses, like, "Oh, I don't have Erling Haaland." Yeah,
I'm going to ignore the fact that I don't have Haaland. Like that. Like if you were playing a game without Salah, like that wouldn't have been the first thing you were going to say. That's how important Salah.
The difference between Salah and Haaland is Salah affects the game completely differently than Haaland does.
Yeah, okay,
no, but it's true. He's the creator and the goal scorer. Don't be disingenuous.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Salah, and I'm saying his name properly. Salah is a difference maker. He affects the game differently now as he's matured. He's more of a creator as well in terms of goals scored. But listen. I want to point out the fact that when your top goal scorer, when your focal point is out of there, we're different. And I'd rather go into a game with Haaland than without.
Focal point, though, you have to have more than 5 touches and a half to be a focal point. I feel like he just
no. See, this is lazy. Here we go. My Australian Canadian brother over here is being lazy. Do you have to have touches to really have an impact? We know the attention that Haaland gets. We know the focus that defenses have to have with him on the pitch. Hey, listen, center backs are going to be a lot calmer. They're going to have a better night's sleep knowing that Haaland's not.
But do you agree that there is no excuse? Is that fair?
There's no excuse for. Oh no, it's a must win.
Like to beat Man United, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, Cam, I don't think Cam's looking at the standings right now, but
if y'all lose to us tomorrow, Jesus Christ! Like, no, I'm not. I only care about Europa at this stage. Like, I gotta be honest. I think our league games are all just practice. I think at this point, or just him trying to figure out. Like, I think he's doing what Jose did without saying it. I'm not gonna lie. I truly think he's doing what Jose did in the season where we won Europa and Jose didn't care about the league. I think the same thing's happened with Amorim, but he's just not being as overt because he's not Jose, right? Like Jose can do that and come out and say, I don't care about the league. We're going to win Europa because he's Jose. He went on and did it. He's legendary. You can do that. If Amorim came out and said, I don't care about the league, then goes on and not win, like, he gets destroyed, right? But I think it's pretty obvious when you see like just our rotation, just the way we're prepared. It is very obvious at this stage that he is trying new things. He's not trying new things. He's just playing our system. He's putting players out. He's subbing guys off early. I think he's told the world, be prepared for the storm. He said, I have to win to have time here. But I don't think he's naive enough to not understand where the importance is right now. And that's Europa. Like he knows it. And he does understand, and let's be honest, he does understand the importance of the big games because so far this year, those are the games he's won. He had, like, realistically, he's won most of our bigger games or showed up. Like, we looked like some of our best games against Arsenal.
I give a lot of listen.
City, like we looked the best against those teams. He seemed to be the most prepared. He's saying that. Do I think we're going to have a shot? Absolutely not. I think you guys should run rampant on us. I really do. It does look like Maine might be back, but our team is.
Have you been watching the same Man City this season?
Everybody's
Run
coming
rampant.
back. No, it's at a.
You're so
No,
much
no,
better
put
than
it
this,
this way.
Cam.
When I
You're
say run
actually.
rampant-
so
Why
much
aren't you
better.
accusing him of being dramatic, Hussam? Why aren't you doing that?
No, I just told him. I
No,
actually accused
no,
him
I
of
don't-
worse. I told him you're better than this because I expect better from Cam.
No,
I don't expect better from you because you're fraudulent. I just call you dramatic.
So you're both scared.
This is what I. This
by
is
the
this.
sounds of it.
This is the
No,
most
I'm not- no, I'm
dramatic
not.
introduction
No,
to a preview ever.
Can I make
One
it clear?
guy is
No,
like,
can
"Oh
I
my
make
god,
it
I'm gonna
clear?
be with that Erling
Let me be clear.
Haaland," and
I'm
the
not
other guy is
scared.
like, "I expect you to
scared.
destroy us." Wow.
No,
Well done,
all right,
guys.
if-
What a derby.
If I could
What a-
finish what I
let
was
me
going to
keep it-
say,
No, let me keep it 1,000.
My
It's
life.
not that I expect them to destroy us. It's just they should. Do I expect it? I don't know because
But why
realistically,
should
like I was
they?
saying,
They're fucking shit as well. Who said they're good?
okay, sorry, but
especially without Holland.
You just heard me say my thing right there. You said they're fourth, right? They're fourth, and we are
You got
13th.
Super Jack.
No,
Super
I'm
Jack's
sorry.
back.
we're fifth.
I'm
We're fifth.
sorry. Okay, they're fifth, and we are 13th. I've got to be completely
United
honest
minimum
here.
get a draw tomorrow, Cam. I remember this.
I think
Minimum.
we could
I think
pull-
There is
United
no
might win.
scenario where they beat you. How about that?
I think
There is no
maximum we get a
scenario that
draw.
Manchester City beat you tomorrow. I'm that confident.
All right, that's cool. But I'm not going to say that because I just got to be real. I'm just not going to do that. I'm just.
But we've
the
seen
same
this
way,
all
like, with-
season. You
same way
guys stand
with
up and
Gogan-
find a spine against a big team. You like
We
you,
do,
you
and I
love
think
that they won
tomorrow.
and
But the problem is we don't. The difference is against those big teams, Martin. We had Diallo. We did, and that's the guy who actually.
you've
when
got
it
Bruno
came against-
Grenades. You've got
You didn't have him
Zerkamp,
against us,
you've got-
did you?
You know,
Bruno,
don't.
player of
I
the
take
month.
no. I will take no disrespect on Bruno Fernandes. None. He will stand up tomorrow. He will do his thing. Like I'm not one of those guys.
See?
Bruno
of the
will do his thing.
Yeah, okay.
I think-
Bruno will do his thing. How about you do your thing and say we're gonna slap the shit out of them? How about that?
Yeah.
because we're not. Because here's the thing, Hussam. I watch football
We
with
know
my eyes
what-
like you do, and guess what? I can tell you right now. I watch this. Like Dorgu had the highest XG for us against Nottingham Forest. Okay, so if as somebody who watches football, and,
It's actually
you know,
really bad over there.
actually pay attention. Like we do not fucking score goals. Like our play, like this is the problem. If you told me you dropped a striker and I don't care, Mateta, you give me Delap, anybody in this team tomorrow, I'd be like, cool. We might pull this off, but we don't score goals. So I'm depending on Bruno to pull something out of his ass. I'm depending on. Like I'm not going to say either of the strikers' names, to be honest. Like I don't think either of those guys are scoring goals. Like, I'm depending on Delo or somebody to pull. Like I'm depending on something that
All
I
right,
don't.
hold on.
I don't know how it's going to happen. But we don't score goals. Our forward line doesn't score goals, and I can't go into a game against City and say we're going to destroy them or beat them without sounding like an idiot, knowing we don't score goals, dude. Like I'm sorry. Like
You've got
you
people
want me
people
to-
in
nil,
football
nil,
position.
man.
Let me
you
get a
want me to
chance.
ru-
No,
Let me get a
no,
chance
I
and
can't
speak on
put-
this, please.
let me just finish quickly. I'm not going to ruin my brand as somebody who understands football and come up here and say that this United team is going to walk in to, like into Old Trafford where we've been bad and score 2, maybe 3 goals, which is probably what we need to beat City tomorrow. I'm just not going to do it. Will we tie?
Did Cam
Maybe.
just
Yeah,
say he's
draw.
not going to ruin his brand?
I'm not going to ruin my brand.
Soccer
Listen, I built up-
junkie. Like
I'm not gonna
I
ruin my
get,
brand.
like bro, I get it. I just said I think United are gonna get something tomorrow, but this is when predictions go too far. Like you cannot say Hoyland to score twice, fucking twice. When's the last time he scored
But
twice in a
I'm
football
saying,
game?
Yeah.
we need
Nah, he's
goals.
getting mad.
Yeah, but he's
Listen.
got no Haaland. It's even, you know.
No, let me. Okay.
There's
Let me
no
just say
Rodri
this.
to-
Let me say this. This is
If
why.
I had
This is why
Diallo,
Hussam.
I'm way more confident. Way more confident.
All right, let me
Give me
speak
Diallo,
on my
I'm
brand for a second. Let me speak on my brand for a second because
Yeah,
Hussam
yeah.
is a
Oh,
fraud.
good spot.
Hussam is a
Right.
fraud, right? Well, you know what? You know that old school. You know that old school childhood saying, "It takes one to know one." All right, Hussam knows me very well because of who he is. He's the same man that would talk about his derbies, right? He would talk about Liverpool and Everton. We're Everton in the standings right now. Where are they? But do they give Liverpool a difficult game? Do they cause havoc? Have they caused them to drop points? Absolutely. And I'm going into a very similar situation with regards to Old Trafford. My form is actually a lot worse than his. He's top of the league. He's been running away with it and had difficulty in his derby versus Everton. But I'm supposed to be going into this game mad confident, like, oh, it's all locked up. I'm getting this win when my form is worse than his, and I'm playing United at Old Trafford.
Bro, we scored
Listen,
one goal against Everton.
Cautious. Oh, no, we're
Just
not
put
talking
it in
about that.
perspective. Like,
I'm
we
talking
scored
about the
one goal
derby.
against
No.
Everton.
It doesn't matter about.
The difference is Husam's team scores goal. Like, this is my point, though. It's like, I get it.
No, Cam, let me run. I was running. You're messing up my brand. You're ruining my brand.
What happened?
You're ruining my
Man,
brand.
you guys are just like
brand on
underdogs.
brand violence. That's what that is.
Next year,
Used to be
next
big
year,
clubs,
what
man.
happened?
No,
Catch
these
the
are no.
summer.
Listen, I want to talk about the derby in particular. I want to talk about how difficult it is to get these games. Now, am I still backing my team to get a win? This is where you guys let me. If you let me finish, you let me have the convo. I'm telling you, absolutely, I back my team to have the win, despite not having Holland, right? Because again, I think we have the better squad, we have the better team, we have the better manager, even though we're playing away. Now, where the goal's going to come from, that's a question for me. Where's the control going to come from? That's a question for me. Whether I'm going to be able to
What do you
run
mean that's
90.
a question? Where's the control going to come from? What? What do you
United
mean?
give
Where's
you
the
the ball.
control going to come from?
Oh, Cam, can you tell me the starting 11 that Pep's probably going to decide on? No,
No, but I can't.
and I can't either.
But
And
bro,
it's been a concern
but
all
you
season
have,
long.
Okay, Phil Foden. Who else is in your midfield?
Oh,
Phil
don't
Foden,
do
Bernardo
this.
Silva. No, I'm sorry. I can go down the list.
Oscar
KDB,
Bob.
Marmoush, Doku. Like all these guys
Jack.
who have tech and control the ball. And now let me go through mine. Ugarte, Casemiro. This is my midfield, by the way. Eriksson, Bruno.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Mount.
pretend that Bruno's a control of the ball. Mount. I'm sorry. I just named 4 guys in that whole midfield, 4 of them, who barely dribble with the ball.
Yeah,
And you're
there's
talking
dribble
about
and
where's
then
the
there's
control going to come from? And you're talking about where's the control? If you don't control the game tomorrow, you guys have bigger problems. Like we're
No.
what?
Cam, let's see. You see, you're stepping all over my brand because I wanted to talk about control, and then I also wanted to talk about how we would have to get through your defense. Because if you decide to surrender possession, which you've done, which Amarin, like you talked about, big games, Amarin knows how to manage United fans, right? He knows. Hey, let's do our best. Let's not get embarrassed in big games. Let's keep them on that fishing line with regards to Europa. Let's keep them. And then we'll move. You said it yourself. He's doing the Jose. He's not said it out loud. I've given up on the league, but I know what to satisfy the fan base so that they're not calling for my head every single day.
But it's not just the fan base. It's literally the club. That is where getting into UCL is. That's it. That's our path.
Listen, what's hilarious is
I'm sorry, you came out and said something crazy off the top.
I didn't say anything crazy.
Beating Nottingham Forest. By the way, Villa is literally your biggest fucking competition to not making Champions League next year. You should absolutely not be happy about them winning that game. Anyway, back to
you're seeing it the wrong way. You're seeing it the wrong way because I look at this. I want it as congested as possible. I don't want Forest to continue to be 7 or 6 points ahead. I'd rather them come closer to me, and I feel the pressure to remain in top 4. If that's Aston Villa getting closer within the mix, I'll take that on. Because I want everyone close. I want everyone fighting till the 38th week, as opposed to it's all set. Forest got 3rd, and then I'm battling for 4 and 5. No, I'd rather battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That's me. Now, the favor I got to take advantage of, and that means
your
a
confidence
win
is shot. That's crazy what you just said. That is crazy. I'd rather. That's wild to me.
But they need Europa League, this Man City, man. It'll be
no, we don't.
Man.
Yeah,
we do, man. It'll be lovely, man.
See, this is where your hatred's blinding all you guys. This is the problem. What's actually best for the league, because it's not being it's not as exciting with us being this way. Be honest.
Whoa.
Husam's not having Husam's not having the joy. Husam's not having the joy of,
I'm enjoying the fuck out of this season, man. Not having the joy in my ass.
Listen, on, man. You know what? Until you won it on the final day, you won't know what that feels like.
Did you give a fuck when you ran away with the league when Liverpool were shit? Did you care, mate? No,
yeah, I did.
I'm so sure that Vator, who is the epitome of fraudulence in this universe, sat there in me and went like, "I'm so sad that Liverpool are crap. You're so full of shit.
No, I'm not doing all that. Now you're being
bidet and water and soap. That's how full of shit you are right now.
Now you're being extra. If you were to tell me, listen, guys, hold on. I'll tell you, What we did with that Centurion season, I absolutely loved. Setting that record, running away with it. I think the next closest team was 18 points off. I loved it. But if you were to tell me on the final day, and it's happened 3 times, twice by 1 point. Actually, I could even go back earlier when I won it on the final day, and it was the Aguero moment on goal differential. But when you win in moments like that, it hits different. That's all I'm saying. Husam's running away with the league. Obviously, he wants the title. It's a second. But when you win it in dramatic fashion, it hits different. That's all I'm saying. The drama, the love of that league, of that season, it's I can't explain it. I can't.
Beggars can't be choosers, as they say.
Hang on.
I think Hussam would rather.
Can I
have
tell you the
that
actual
three.
problem I
Matt.
have with
Beggars
Vator
can't
Games
be
TV?
choosers. You're right,
Vator,
Matt.
what is your dream? 1 second, because you're full of shit right now. What's your dream car? What's your
What's my
dream
dream
car?
what?
Tell me. Dream
What's
car.
my dream? What?
Car. Like vroom vroom.
Sorry, am I
What's your
lagging?
dream car?
Your dream car.
Car.
My dream car would be a car that runs on water.
Can you just fucking
doesn't
tell me
exist
your
yet.
dream
Yeah.
car like Bugatti,
What about-
Lamborghini, Ferrari? What is it?
Honestly, I don't have one. I don't have one. I really don't. I'm not a material man, Hussam. I'm not. I'm very spiritual. So possessions don't concern me. It's not something that drives me. But having a
Okay,
healthy life,
You're a spiritual
So you don't care
person.
about your trophy.
Would it be a dream? Would it be a dream for you to build a church where you're at?
it would be a dream for me to build, yes, a church, a community. Yes, that would be a dream.
Very nice. So if you built that church using cryptocurrency money or using your own hard work and labor, would it make a difference to you?
However the spirit upstairs delivers it to me, I am to provide the people.
Yes. So because you achieved something that you've dreamt of, you don't give a shit how, because now Vator has his dream community, correct?
What the is this the analogy
My
you're
brother,
trying to make?
if the repeat of this season happens 3 years in a row and I win 3 league titles like this, I don't give a fuck. Since when? This is the utter woke
no, it's not
nonsense
true.
that I
It's not true.
fucking hate.
It's not
We
true.
have gentrified the sport. The sport is now fucking dog shit because of this type of mentality.
No,
Oh
it's not.
my god, I feel so bad for Man United. Habibi, I don't feel bad. I hope they get liquidated. I hope they never come back in this fucking league ever again. I hope I don't see I hope their club rots down to the ground and they are in the fucking championship playing against Sunderland. I'm not that type of fan. Man's out here like, oh my god, Hussam misses me. I don't miss you, bro. Don't beg.
I didn't
I don't
say
miss
me. I didn't make it
I
about
don't
me.
miss you. I
I
don't
meant-
miss your team. I don't want any competition. I hope next season we win 38 games in a row and you are all fucking bored as fuck and I win my 21st league title. Who cares? What's this fucking bullshit that you think Madrid fans when they won La Liga when Barca were crap, they're like, oh, I miss Barcelona. Please come back, Barca. Messi, come back so I can have competition. What kind of bullshit is this? Who gives a shit? Give me a league title, bro. Just give me a league title. The way does not matter. Martin, would you take a boring league title right now? Would you take it?
Absolutely. I think if I had maybe 5 of those,
God,
I'd want,
20
like, an
years, of
exciting
course
one.
he would.
Hey, I'm really
Yeah,
sad
he
that
thinks
Man's
he's
young and
slick,
UCL
Benny.
in it.
Thank you so much. He thinks he's fucking slick. Like he's like, oh, Hussam
also,
misses
I
me.
would-
Like,
I would
I want
say,
to come back in this title race with him. Fuck your club,
Yeah.
bro.
and also,
I said this league.
that title, the third one you won by a point against West Ham wasn't fucking dramatic at all, man. That was just a boring 3-1 win on the last day of the season.
Bro,
And,
like
so-
80% of his
Boring.
league titles ain't dramatic. Where's the drama,
yeah,
mate?
exactly.
was
They're not.
boring. Wait, hold
How
on,
many-
hold on.
I
And
bet
so
you-
for
I bet
one
you-
against Brighton
hang
as well.
on. I bet. Look at Man United's. I think if I'm right, Man United's 13 league titles. Only 2 of them have gone to like last day of the season. Do you think they care? They don't care. They don't care
Can
about
Cam growing up
13.
is like, no, I want more drama. I miss you,
Yeah,
Arsenal.
exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Fuck,
you're-
bro.
Wait,
Yeah,
how
this
about
is
this,
the
Sam?
problem.
Sam, Vator, are you one of those people who also in the Champions League goes, I want to face the best?
I
So
want to
can
face the
do it.
best of the
I want to
best.
face. Are you one of those people?
Bring
All
me
right,
Madrid.
Yeah, he is.
Let me
You are.
let me
You've
tell-
hesitated.
You are that type of guy. I
You
can
are
tell.
one of
You
them.
are that
You
type
are
of
one of
guy.
them.
let-
You are a fraud,
Increase
mate.
my
That's
red
what
bull,
you are.
Lord.
Fraud.
Give me Porto, give me Leipzig, give me
Exactly.
Benfica, give me Villarreal, give me the shittest teams.
Give me
possible.
Sheriff.
Yeah.
Because
I get
guess
it.
what?
I
Had
get-
I drawn Club Brugge, I would still be in this fucking competition, mate.
No, you know why? I get all that, but you also know why is because when you go back and you nitpick and you want to differentiate between the greats, between the great clubs, between the great players and what they had to overcome. I do want those challenges. I'll be honest with you. I like the run that I had to go through for my trouble. I absolutely do. Because that has put my club, that has put that accomplishment right up there, because it wasn't an easy run. It was not.
We had to go 8th. Were you sad for us?
We had to
Were
go
you
through
like,
everybody that had the heritage, right? We had to go through everybody that had UCL heritage, and I did it on a treble. And I also had to win. Listen, guys, you can want the easy way. I don't fault that. That's what this generation's all about. Oh, I want it quick and easy. Give me. Oh, I don't want to read the article. Give me the clips. Oh, I don't want to watch the full video. Give me a short. That's what this generation's all about. I get it. But I do want the story. I do want the glory. And the glory comes when you go through the monsters. They don't talk about David versus John. They don't talk about David versus Lenny. They talk about David versus Goliath. That's why that story lives on today.
None of us are David and none of us are Goliath. None of us are David on the stream, you fraud. Only David is Leicester City. It's the only David in history.
On that note, Vator,
you are Goliath. Everyone wants to see Goliath fail.
Vator, on that note, are you disappointed with your last few? Are you disappointed, Vator, with your last few FA Cup wins since who you faced in those rounds to win it?
Oh, 6-0 against Watford.
Oh, good question, Andrew. Good question. Punch him in the face.
Do you not credit your domestic?
Do you care that you only beat? Do you care that you only beat
beat
Watford on the way to Wembley?
Yeah.
Guys, they beat Watford, so it doesn't count anymore.
Watford.
Oh, Watford! There was no.
No, you guys are missing the
You
point.
didn't miss me at Wembley.
Oh, I wish we had Liverpool at Wembley to win it.
Oh, you didn't miss me.
Does that mean you don't
guys
like
are missing
Warren
the point.
third because of that? Is
You
that
guys
like
are
you don't
missing-
like
you guys are
small
missing the
teams
point.
doing well?
Vator, for
I-
once in your
I
life on a stream, just go like, "This is L. This is an L for
It's
me.
not an
This is-"
L, but I get it.
Okay,
It's one.
explain yourself.
It's
No one
1v5.
interrupt.
I
Explain
love it.
yourself. No one
And
interrupt.
also, do your last
Let
day.
him
do you
explain
take-
it once and for all, so we can just cook him when he's done with the shit.
Sam,
The last
also
FA
then,
Cup
do
I
we-
won was
Hang on,
versus
no,
Mighty
hang on, no.
United.
Do we take away then your last day wins against Premier League, winning the Premier League because they weren't against the top 6 team as well? Do we take that away as well?
QPR.
Because they-
You know
Aguero.
what? The
dramatic
league,
enough.
no, Surfer, this is where you're moving fraudulent. You're
QPR
moving like
just
Hussam.
escaped
QPR.
the
league-
relegation.
10
No.
men QPR. 10 men
And they were
moving-
celebrating when
You're
he
moving.
scored.
You're
If
moving
you don't
like
know about
you're-
James Mackey,
Yes. Jamie
Well,
Mackey.
Surfer. You're
I
moving
stepped away
fraudulent
and listened.
because
All I could
the
hear was
league-
about biblical and David and Goliath. Like what turn was taken.
Yeah, no. It was
you want to know?
all
You want to
point.
know what Cap said while you were away?
Oh,
Cameron?
can I finish
He's
this?
like, "Oh, I know that Hussam really misses me in a title race," and I'm like, "No, I don't." What the fuck?
So this is no, but I heard you saying that comment earlier where I was kind of like where you're like, yo, the league's not as fun without us. Yo, we knew the league without you for like fucking 15 years, bro. Like when I started, like, I didn't even know. Like I'm actually like when I meet a Canadian who's a City fan, it upsets me because it like lets me know when you like you kind of did the Patriots thing. You kind of did the like for me, I at least joined the United.
Hey guys, I support the
States
Warriors.
You know what?
when
That's
we
funny
were
though.
on the
That's funny though.
downward. We weren't on the up. Like I decided to like actually I didn't decide because my brother's a United fan and he's 50, so he's significantly older than me, and I had to like them. But I could have chosen to move off. Like a lot of my friends now around me who are football fans, they're like City, Liverpool fan. Like you clearly jumped on when things were the good.
Well, we're not
good.
going
to.
Ooh, glory hunter
We're gonna have another
accusations
show
there.
when we want to talk about who jumped
Let's
on.
go.
No, we can have that
guys,
show when we want to
no
talk
one
about who
interrupt
jumped
Vator.
on to when.
No one interrupt
But-
Vator, please.
Yeah,
Vator, just explain your take, please. No one interrupt him. No matter what he says, no one interrupt him because he always accuses us of misquoting. No one misquoted. You're not slick, but go ahead. Explain. No one interrupt, please.
all right. This is the challenge for all of you because when I tend to speak, you guys have an issue with it. My whole point was when I said this league is actually missing City is because there's no fighter in this one. You're in this league and you're not fighting against anyone. Arsenal bowed out way too early to actually make this dramatic. The most entertainment that's happening in this league right now is actually the top 4 race. We're trying to see what happens there because that's where all the movement is. Liverpool's running away with it, and it's an after story. It's more dramatic to want to talk about their transfer window than it is them winning this league. So that's the point I was trying to make. Whether it needed to have City in it, selfishly, I think it would have been a better fight. It would have been dramatic to take another title away from City, right? Fight for this one. That's the point I was trying to emphasize. Have we seen this league without City? Of course. We've now seen this league without United doing anything for over a decade now, and we've seen it without Arsenal for 20, right? So they've been in the mix, but they haven't won it. My thing is, yeah, you've been in the mix, but you haven't won it. But
thereabouts. But like,
but
I would happily
here's the
believe
deal.
City, but I would be sad.
Don't interrupt.
if we have
No,
Vade.
let him talk. Let him
But
talk.
here's the deal. But here's the deal. No,
No, he's accusing us of interrupting already. Go ahead, talk. Go on. No one will
I thought
interrupt
he
you.
was
Go ahead.
done.
Actually, I lost.
But
my thought
Vator
with
has
you.
that thing where he does a big pause for 7 seconds and then he says like, "Oh, you didn't let me finish." Go ahead.
Okay, so listen, if you're a public speaker, if you're trying to be engaging, you're supposed to change the flow. You're supposed to drop your volume. You're supposed to actually give a pause to bring people engaged. What I was trying to emphasize is the City this season not being in the mix, and honestly, Liverpool not having someone to fight for is why it's kind of It's kind of like
okay. So hold on. So so let me just say,
Okay.
But you're saying they needed City. No, they just needed anybody to challenge. We didn't need City. Like it could have been Chelsea. It could have been Arsenal.
You are not special. Who told you you're that special?
No, I get that, but honestly, but the point is,
to be honest, we needed Arsenal to be who we thought Arsenal was going to be, because I'm one of the people who.
Yeah, but because they weren't. That's why I'm saying City should have been in the mix.
You're talking about entertainment value and drama. Then a Liverpool Arsenal title race would have hit like crack in the 80s, because they're the most dramatic fan base in the Premier League.
It would have hit, but they're not there. That's the thing.
Also,
that's why I said this. That's why I said it's kind of
But we don't miss you. We just miss any challenge.
You guys are agreeing.
You're proving wrong anyway, because we don't miss City either way. So you're wrong on this side and you're wrong on the other.
They miss a challenger. The most consistent challenger that we can all agree has been City.
But no one misses you at the top.
Over the last
no one misses you, mate.
115. When's these charges coming down, man?
All right, let me ask the panel this. Let me ask the panel this.
That was 3 seasons ago.
Actually, you know what? That
Max with a dagger right there.
If there's any club that's missed, who's missed? Hussam, as you're winning this league title, who's missed?
Man
United.
He doesn't care.
As I'm winning the league title, let me answer this, guys. I'm gonna my blood pressure boiling. I have boiling blood pressure. As I'm winning the league title, I don't fucking miss anyone. I hope you're all shit next year as well. I hope you are shit.
Okay, I'll ask you a question.
Hypothetical. I hope Spurs are shit, and I hope United. What's this whole mishype?
Wait.
Who gives a fuck?
Wouldn't
Martin,
you rather beat
if you
Manchester
get something
United?
easy, it's not the same.
When you have
to
care? Does Martin
fight
care if
for
you win
it?
the league by 20?
It's different. You guys know this.
But to be
What is
objective,
this
I mean, Martin said
woke
it is an
nonsense
Arsenal
you're
fan.
referring
No,
to?
this isn't. But Hussam, this isn't woke. Not like, to answer the question though. If we're going to talk about a team being missing from like just in general the conversation, the league misses United being part. Like because we're still in it. They still put us in the conversation. We still get talked about, even though we shouldn't. If we were anybody else, let's keep it 1,000. If we were anybody else and we were in 13th, you would never hear a word about it. You wouldn't hear about it.
No, we were 15th. Everyone knew about it. Arsenal, Man U have a special history. I would enjoy beating Man U to the title closely in the same kind of way Vader's talking about, in that if I was going to win the title, I would love to be dunking on Man United more than anyone else. But Man City, delete them as an institution. I don't think anyone's going to care. I would miss you, Vader, but I would not miss your club and everything else.
Let me just say this, right? I've won my 5 titles that have witnessed me winning. 4 of them have been comfortable. I enjoyed the 1 point over United, but not more than the 12-point victories over the other ones, because I got it wrapped up. I was comfortable. I knew I was going to win. That's the stress of lattes. Exactly. You're like going 3 points, thank you, 3 points. It was, when are we going to wrap this up? When are we going to win this? It doesn't.
We can agree to be different.
One we won by 1 point against United in 2010 doesn't exceed the other ones because we won it by a point. It just doesn't. For Sam and Liverpool fans, they could. It's not that they. Maybe they would like some to challenge, but it's not because they're Man City. It doesn't matter. They don't care. They've been counting down the Premier League since January, bro. They've been counting down since January. Hassan might not have, but other fans have been counting down since January when they were going to win it. They honestly don't care how they win it. No team should care how they win it. It's just when you win it. It's like this whole thing about, in the Champions League, I need to face Real Madrid, Barcelona. Bullshit. It says who wins the title on the trophy. It doesn't say how you win it. All right.
No, we
Doesn't say
know
how you
we
win
know
it.
that.
I would
I fully agree
You're
with
only
that.
saying it because he's in the
no,
top 4
guys.
battle, you know.
I've
No,
never
if
If
he went in
next
the top
season,
four, he
right
wouldn't
now,
say
right
this.
here, right now, you offer me next season 0 entertainment, 38 1-0 wins in a row, I'm shaking your hand right now. Give me.
Exactly.
Let's
Oh my
go.
gosh. You guys don't hold on. You guys don't watch documentaries. You guys don't hear from greats with regardless of the sport. You don't, because when you hear them talk about their accomplishments, when you hear them talk about what they've won and who they won it against, you'll understand my point.
But
So I
that's
get
them.
you guys.
That's
No,
not
no,
us.
but that's where
I'm not
I'm
playing,
coming.
bro.
That's
I'm
where
a
I'm
fan.
coming from, though. I get it. Oh, you wanted the easy way. I'd rather win it by 20 points and not have to worry about it.
He's little broing all of us.
I don't
and
care
it's
whether I
so
win it
dusty.
and I beat you. I beat Everton
here's-
or I had to beat Aston Villa. That's you guys. I'm pointing out that
Listen.
I want to be able
Okay.
to slap up a United or a Liverpool or an Arsenal or Chelsea. For me, it hits different, and that's what I want. You guys want
No,
to be
Vader,
easy.
okay,
Cool.
No, but Vader, I hear you.
No,
and
hang
you
on, Sam.
you
Can I just say
bridge-
this? Can I just say this? You know what? Actually, you to win it, your last two titles, one of your last two titles, but win it by 1 point, is actually embarrassing for City. Not a good thing that you won it by 1 point. That's
let me hear this
embarrassing
spin.
for what,
Yeah, let me
by
hear
the
this
manager
spin.
you have and the players that you have and the best squad that you have. That you had to win it by 1 point is actually
Against
embarrassing.
Arsenal.
You know what's embarrassing
yeah.
is when you spend $1 billion and you're not even close to winning it. That's
Is that
embarrassing.
another rich club having to go at a rich club spending money? I don't want to do that if I were you.
So
This is
Vader,
a
we're all
Spider-Man
rich.
meme.
No, but
We're
This is
I
a
wanna-
Spider-Man
rich
meme.
surfer.
This is a
But
Spider-Man
when you
meme.
want to emphasize, this is what's funny, because you're doing the Spider-Man meme yourself. Look at the quality that you have, and it's embarrassing for you to be so many
Yes.
points
Vader,
off
this is-
winning a
Yes.
title.
Vader,
So we can do this all
Vader,
day.
I want to. But Vader, I'm
I'm
going to
not talking
dunk on
about
your
what
whole.
aboutism.
Billionaire on
no,
billionaire
no.
violence.
Yeah.
No, let me. I want to
High
dunk on the
class,
whole. Like when you listen to
minimalist
Money on money
documentaries-
violence. Hey, my
No,
money
when you-
is United Arab Emirates dirham. Your money is
Yeah.
Russian ruble.
Nah, dude, he's talking about when you listen to documentaries and players saying it means more that I beat. I'm gonna dunk on 2 points on that. Was if you watch The Last Dance, at no point was Jordan like, "Oh, I would have preferred to beat so and so or whatever." Nah, dude was like,
No. So Cam,
Hold on,
no. Hold on.
Let me
No.
finish. Let me rebuttal because
Alright,
you
go ahead.
said your piece.
Don't
Let him
spoil his
cook.
brand. Don't spoil
Yeah,
his
I'm
brand.
next. I'm
Let
next.
me say let me say what you
That's his
said.
brand.
So I watched the Last Dance like we all did, and at no point Jordan sitting there with a cigar and a baseball bat wasn't like, you know what? I just wish Patrick Ewing was better, and I didn't destroy them. He was happy to run through every single team and just know that nobody, you're looking me in the eye, you don't have a chance to beat me. He was more than happy to make it clear to the league that when I come back, I'm going to dominate. Kobe Bryant, the same Mamba mentality. Job's not done. He wasn't like, oh, it's great that we're close. He's like, nah, let me get to the finish line and finish them and stomp on their necks. When you listen to these guys talk, the Jimmy Butlers and these guys, they aren't saying, you know what, though? I want that dude on the other side to be real competitive. And it's like, no, they want to destroy who's in front of them. And in football, the way you do that is by having a massive gap and being like, we walked you.
Yeah,
And
we walked.
Listen, the only argument where you could say you want teams to be around is when you talk about the strength of the league. That's the only argument where I say, like, yes, it's not a good look for the Premier League if it's like always one team that just completely, if it moves around and it's multiple teams that do that, cool. But if we had like 7 years of Liverpool just walking the league, then we're turning to La Liga. That's the only time where that argument, in my opinion, holds weight, because yes, you want a competitive league, which the Prem does have, because Nottingham fucking Forest is third. Like, sorry, tell me the last time you saw a team that.
But it's because City have won 5 out of the last 6.
Let me respond to this.
Specifically want them to be down.
I know exactly, and then I want one more example, and this is
By the way,
like
Cam, just before we move on from that example, the best one with Kobe is 08, he lost to the Celtics. You think he gave a fucking 09 that he beat the Magic? Like, did he give a flying fuck who he beat in the
he's like, I don't care who's in front of me. And this is the thing, and I'm going to use it. I always do cross sports because I guess some people are like, football, whatever. No, I think going cross sports is important because we're talking about athletes and mentality, and they're all high level athletes. And in the NFL, I'm an Eagles fan. My quarterback did not want to be sat when they were up 40 points. The coach, it's literally documented. The coach is like, "You're done," and he's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And he's like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, dude, it's okay." Like, he's like, "All right." And he goes to the sideline and he's the players are like, bro, you want to keep going. Like Smitty's like, you want no mercy. He's like, man, if we were back, I would just. And his whole mentality was he wanted it to be the most historic beatdown ever, which it almost was. That's what he wanted. He wasn't like, man, I wish that. You know what? I wish the KC Chiefs, who screwed us a few years back, because that's a real rivalry now, I wish they showed up and gave us a game. That is not the mentality of players, bro. So you putting that on yourself, that is a you thing. No, I'm just saying that is a you thing. Do not say this is how the rest of athletes, because that is not how they think, bro. Like, people want to.
Let me respond.
Let me respond.
Let me respond, Max. 1 second, because this is where Cam's moving fraudulent. I had nothing to say that I'm quoting a player to being like, this is what the journey should be.
You said watch documentaries.
I said watch documentaries for the mentality of these players wanting to overcome the competition that's in front of them. They want to break the legacies. You hear players say, I want to beat New England. I want to beat Tom Brady. They say that. They say that I want to beat Belichick. Hold on, Cam. Let me finish. I let you finish. I was calm. I stayed on mute. I sat back. I've heard players say that they wanted to beat Jordan in his pump. They said they didn't want to play the Wizards Jordan. Are you going to disagree with that? We hear the mentality of greats wanting to play against greats. And when I'm emphasizing that I want to see my club beat greats, because you emphasize, oh, you're an Eagles fan and you wanted them stomping on KC. KC is the club. KC is me wanting to stomp on United. KC is me wanting to stomp on Real Madrid. If they have a down year, I don't care, but it's the club in itself. That's the point. I'm not saying I want them to play Villarreal. I'm not saying that I want to go play Aston Villa to win this title. I'm saying I want to take it from the greats. And you keep twisting out on what I'm explaining. So did Jordan say, oh, I want to face the greatest? He did say he wanted to get through the Pistons. He did say that.
Nobody was better than him, though. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Vader. Just real quick.
Oh my gosh, let me make my point, because now let me finish.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, because it's not just Jordan. You're gonna put the greatest player. It's about the competition. There's other people trying to beat Jordan. I'm not Jordan. In this case, there's United and Real Madrid. I'm not Jordan. I'm trying to beat them. So that's the mentality that I'm emphasizing, and you can twist it. Let me hear your point on how you're twisting the mentality to want to beat the great.
All right. So here's the thing: the examples you gave about I want to beat Jordan, not the Wizards Jordan, is because Chicago Bulls Jordan was the champion. And I hear what you're saying. These players want to beat whoever the champion is. They're not trying to conjure up this whole thing where you're saying, oh, well, without City,
but they don't want to skate. They don't want to.
No.
Yeah, but Cam, they want to beat. They want to beat the great. But you guys are talking about you want to skate. You want to skate around the great. That's what you guys are saying.
But here's the problem with your logic. I did beat the great. Because guess what? Who's second? Arsenal. Who's third? Manchester City.
When we were talking Champions League, you were like, bring me all the minnows. Bring me all the weak.
Yeah, I don't care because the Champions League is the Champions League.
But Vader, at the end of the day, when you get to the final, whoever you have to play is going to be the better team on the side. I don't care if I have to go through Villarreal and go through Bayern Leverkusen or whatever, because if my final is Man United versus Bayern Munich, guess what? If I beat Munich, I don't give a fuck who I had to go through to get to Munich, because there's always going to be the team. Like, I'm sorry, who did Chelsea beat in the year? It hurts my soul, but who did you guys beat recently in the Champions League, Andrew?
In the final,
Man City. So right there, if you look at it, Chelsea, I remember calling their run fraudulent because I don't think they beat a lot of teams that were too difficult. I don't remember.
Why do you call the run fraudulent?
Hold on, no, this is a joke. I said this, but then they go on to beat the best team in the world. So who cares who they had to beat to get there? You always want to knock the champion off their perch. That is how it works. I agree with you saying I want to knock it, but in the league, the way the league works is the champion who they knocked off their perch was, guess what? Man City. They've done it. Man City is in fourth. Liverpool's in first. He's done it. He's knocked them off their perch. He doesn't have to say, I wish you were closer. He's stomped on them already. It's done.
Do you think Hassan would be able to survive the stress of another Man City title race that was close? Like, I don't think this man needs years knocked up his life.
League a lot more dramatic.
I went into the house and I burnt it down. Like, I don't care who was there or not.
Exactly.
Anyway, let me just Let me just read this so we can wrap up
We're
the
talking
stream.
about fans versus players, though. I think we're getting it confused. Fans wanting is different from players wanting.
Yeah, but the
Yeah,
players,
but we're all fans here. We're all fans
The
here.
Liverpool
You guys,
fans-
have your fandom in a different way. I have it in a different way.
What I'm saying is, as fans, we shouldn't be caught up in the thing. Oh, I need to beat the best because it's gonna. No, it's just about winning.
Well, you're not going to tell me what kind of fan I can be. No.
Winning it is your brag. Players are something. Players are different.
I take the 2 Preds if you're
Surfer, you're not going to tell me the type of fan. As a fan, I do want my club to knock out the greats if we can on the way there. For me, that drama and also the realization to see that I'm not as good as them and I got to reset next season, that's value to me. As a fan, that is truly value to me. So the run that we made in the Champions League to knock off a Bayern, to knock off a Real Madrid on the way there, to knock off an Inter, that means something. If I don't even know who Inter had to face before they made the final, but it hits different for me to take it from Inter versus who they beat PSG.
No, I think it was AC Milan. I think it was it AC Milan?
Okay, that's another story.
There's also the fact that neutrals want to see like an entertaining Premier League. Maybe none of us are neutral. We're all like very parochial to our teams, and we just want to see them win. Regardless,
man. Give me the 2 Prems.
Listen, my first Prem was dramatic, and it's in my DNA. I want it all the time. I want it on the final day goal differential. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Read these 2 so we can wrap up because this is going down a shithole right here. Was it a penalty? 50-50. Lewis Kelly needs to put himself in harm's way. The manager needs to coach better. The game wasn't lost because of the penalty, but rather not taking chances when presented. I take it a step further. I don't think you created enough chances for you to take them.
Yeah, it's
That's
a
the bigger
game, man.
I think it was just the Martinelli shot that Pickford.
Trossard as well. Trossard should have went down for the penalty.
He should have,
went down.
He should have dove.
When he jumped over Tarkovsky. Naive.
Yeah, definitely.
Normal people want to win by a bigger margin. Nobody wants to stress too much because people already have stress in their everyday lives. Bro, offer me right now 38 wins in a row next season. I'm shaking your hand. Like with 0 drama. That's what I want, bro. All this drama talk, drama hype. Like I just don't give a fuck.
Oh, you want to go invincible?
You get me? This is not Vince McMahon WWE storyline. The invasion and all this. Like, I want the old Stone Cold. I don't give a fuck, bro.
Bring the best. You got to beat the best. Woo!
Fantastic point. You want to know who the best was? You, because you're the reigning Premier League champion. We went to the Etihad. We won 2-0. We beat you at Anfield 2-0. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're yet to do so. That's how you direct 2 quick jabs right there. He just can't say anything back. Go subscribe.
You're signing off.
To Casually FC. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us. I really do appreciate you, my brother. To you. Vator Games TV is in the description. Go give him a subscribe. Of course, Martin, the ever traveler, you get me, on YouTube. Go give Saad a subscribe. Because fuck it, why not? Go subscribe to Propaganda Machine. That's Max's channel. He's an up-and-coming YouTuber. Please go and give him a subscribe. He's new. He's still new. He's up-coming in the scene. Go show him some love, you get me? He just hit 100 subscribers recently, so let's keep pushing him to keep going in this YouTube thing. And subscribe to this channel. Like the video. I'm going to be back tomorrow, inshallah. Triple header. Liverpool Fulham, Manchester Derby, and El Ahwa. So... yeah, this is a very entertaining day, inshallah.
And for me, I'm going to say subscribe to The Terrace and Judge Mo. And who thought this is where you find me? I'm on these.
Yes,
channels. I'm on these 3
I put his
channels.
Twitter in the description as well if you want to follow him. So
Between the 3 of them, that's it. That's where you'll find me.
Yes.
Hussam, did you really want to take Nuno over Arteta? I just wanted to ask that before I pieced out because
you cannot
that was a troll or
bring a bomb and drop it and then be like, I want to head out. You can't.
Okay.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
I just want to nominate
needs
him for
about 45-second explanation.
When will
and the
you
guys
answer that question?
Short, no, he wouldn't.
When will you answer that? What show will you answer that question?
He
on?
wouldn't.
There's a very simple way to look at this. I explained it. FSG, being American owners and the way that they run the football club, if Arteta finishes second 3 years in a row, they'll never sack him. As a matter of fact, if he finishes second 10 years in a row, they won't sack him because FSG don't give a fuck about winning Premier League titles. All they care about is finishing in Champions League spots.
That's not true.
No, with Nuno Santo, it goes one of either way.
He delivered you 2 prems, and this guy's saying they don't want to win.
or we succeed and we win the league. That's it. That's all.
So you want him because he'll be
Not
sacked.
that deep.
Beautiful.
The answer to my question is because I have FSG as owners. That's all.
Okay.
That's
They
all.
gave you 2 prems, you ungrateful fan.
Oh.
Who gave him 2 prems?
FSG.
I will genuinely be there to
Oh.
piss on your grave when you get found guilty. Even let City
The
be found
gavel.
guilty. Let City be found guilty of just one charge. I will genuinely urinate all over your grave. You're not ready. Even if you are innocent of 129 charges and you're just found guilty of one, I promise you, I will speak like you're
All right.
guilty of all 130 of them.
And let me
I
say
promise
this.
you. There's
If
no
we're-
all right, guys. We're gonna wrap up the stream. Appreciate you all. Go subscribe to Vator Games TV. You get me. Love you all, and
Take it
see you
easy.
guys tomorrow, inshallah. Peace.
Yeah,
Peace.
bless, man.
Fucking fraud.